America's Cup has reached boiling point. The British are already making history, having won a race in the match for the first time in 90 years. The Kiwis have won the Cup twice and defended it twice, and want to be the first team to win 3 in a row. It's now 4-2 New Zealand, and the British are saying the comeback is on.
All the way, go.
We are in a massive right-hand shift. We're seeing huge gains to the Kiwis.
We're doing really well here, okay?
Emirates Team New Zealand landing right on INEOS Britannia's face.
Emirates Team New Zealand have a healthy lead on the official challenger of record.
What, sir? Not stressful at all.
Emirates Team New Zealand have put up the stop sign to the British comeback.
Enough one, boys. Just try and come back and get them in the next.
For INEOS Britannia, get one back. Emirates Team New Zealand will want to get to match point at the end of the day.
So just dragging them in and trigger pull.
It's been another promising start for the defender.
Really big pump of the brakes there for the British team.
Stay focused on those shifts here, guys.
Emirates Team New Zealand are in control of this one.
It has been a masterclass from the Kiwis.
Team New Zealand obviously now goes to 6 wins, which is an awesome milestone.
Emirates Team New Zealand have moved to match point in the match.
Well, it's wins all the way from here to the end, so that's the plan, and looking forward to taking it on.
The defenders are now 1 race win away from retaining the America's Cup.
We know the last one's always going to be the hardest one, and we're expecting one hell of a battle, and I'm sure that's what we'll get. But really looking forward to it.
We'll fight all the way. We're not going to jack this in at any point. So we'll keep going till we have a win, or someone says you go stop. That's the game.
Hola, this is Barcelona, where today history could be made in the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup match. Emirates Team New Zealand are 1 win away from winning the Old Mug and becoming the first team in modern history to win 3 Cup regattas in a row. INEOS Britannia are now in a must-win situation. If they lose 1 race, there is no tomorrow. And to quote skipper Ben Ainslie, there's no second chance, you're in the ultimate fight. The goal has always been a clear one, to win the America's Cup. Simple to say, but hard to achieve. For 173 years, many sailors have dedicated their lives to winning it. It becomes an obsession and a prize few attain. As we begin race day 6, Emirates Team New Zealand sit on match point, needing a solitary win to retain the Cup and return it to the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron trophy cabinet. Yesterday's 2 wins were a body blow to Britannia, who will once again have to come out fighting. 2 races are once again scheduled for today. New Zealand will enter port in race 9 and Great Britain from starboard. Then the entries flip for race number 10. And at dock-out time, Shirley Robertson, only one thing for Britannia to do, win.
Yeah, and they know it. This tight British team have battled hard and now find themselves the wrong side of match point. And their rate of improvement throughout the Cup, though, has been impressive. Their drive to succeed has been unwavering. And in the words of their leader, Ben Ainslie, they are now in a siege mentality. That's a powerful motivator. These men, waving goodbye to their families and supporters, know they must deliver.
And on the other side of the coin, Glenn Ashby, well, 1 more race win needed.
Yeah, 1 race win needed for the Kiwi team. They simply just need to keep their heads down today and stick to the process. But one thing's for sure, it's absolutely not over until it's over, and you have to cross the finish line. We all know about that.
As always, they get a magnificent send-off from Ate Fatu Aurake. But what are the weather gods saying? Let's check on course conditions with Shirley.
On a positive note, it is a beautiful sunny day for what could be the finale of an exceptional America's Cup. But once again, though, Barcelona seems to be adding to the pressure. We're going to need a little patience. Only 30 minutes ago, the breeze was blowing offshore. That wind has now died, which is good news, allowing a light autumnal thermal southeasterly wind to build. The forecast is only for 3 to 7 knots, but there's a good level of confidence that we're going to be good. Well, we can all keep a close eye on it with the help of Windsight IQ. It's the laser radar system that tracks microscopic movements in the air. And on a day like today, it's going to be rather helpful. And as we've learned, it's very accurate. Green is above average pressure and blue is less. We are currently in a short delay, but optimism is pretty high amongst the meteorologists and also in the commentary booth.
We are up to race number 9 in the match.
Even on match point, there will be no taking their foot off the gas for the New Zealanders. This team will line up with a business-as-usual approach. Their pace, accuracy and execution and increasingly precise decision-making have all been impressive. The brief will be to get the job done and become the only team in the modern era to win 3 times. On the wheels, it's Pete Burling. On port, Olympic gold medalist Nathan Outteridge. The reliable Blair Took and Andy Maloney sit in the trimmer pilot seats. And those mighty cyclers pushing out the watts are Webster and Allen, and clipped in on starboard, Crosby and Olympic rowing legend Hamish Bond.
Needing a race win to stay alive, the British team of INEOS Britannia need to be able to execute a winning performance to keep their America's Cup dreams alive. The question is, can they hold off the wave of momentum that the Kiwis have now gathered? Steering again is Ben Ainsley and Dylan Fletcher, and controlling the flight on the AC-75 class yacht is Lee McMillan and Bledden Mon. On the pedals for the race today, Neil Hunter, Ben Cornish, Matt Rossiter and Matt Gottrell.
So welcome to Barcelona on a Saturday. We are in a postponement position at the moment. We are waiting for the weather gods to smile. And the funny thing is, they might just smile. It might just not be in the next few moments or so. The spectator fleet, as you might expect, is going to be out there in force today to see if Emirates Team New Zealand can get the job done, or can INEOS Britannia keep the dream alive? And that's what's going through their heads right now. As you heard Shirley say, they will be in siege mentality. And it's interesting now, looking at the boys just on the boats and the teams just going through the motions, going, come on, let's have some wind. And I'm sure that crowd there, and that crowd is bigger than we saw yesterday. Yes, we will get racing, we think. We'll put the think in there, because the weather gods are just saying maybe have a little bit of a wait. It's down on Barcelona Beach, and it just grows hour upon hour. And that's inside the race village. Fans of Emirates Team New Zealand, INEOS Britannia, they are just hanging out. And well, there's a pro-Kiwi crowd. That's Kiwi Corner. Why wouldn't they be excited? Stephen McIver with 2-time gold medalist Shirley Robertson, 3-time America's Cup champion Glenn Ashby, former America's Cup tactician Peter Lester on the water, and that's also out at the beach as well. It is just a cracking day. But Shirley, look, you can see the palms waving. I think Mother Nature's teasing us right now.
So far, so good. The wind has rotated to the correct direction. It's just whether we manage to get over that 6.5 knots. I mean, currently we are at kind of 6.5 knots, so maybe a little patience, but we're all desperate to get going, as are the teams.
Everybody loves to do the old Titanic move, don't they, when they're on the bow of a big ship. How are you feeling about today and what we might unfold today, Glenn?
Yeah, look, I think today is going to be definitely a day of patience, probably not only for us here in the commentary booth and outside watching, but also for the teams on the water and in the rest of the teams behind the scenes. And we need basically 6.5 knots as a minimum to get these boats foiling and get these boats racing. So we don't want to see boats floating around in displacement mode. We want to see good racing, and we really do need that 6.5 knots to come in to get racing today.
We want a show, and that's the most important thing, and they have put on a show. This whole regatta, when you think when it started back in the preliminary regatta in September, there's Jim Ratcliffe, who celebrated his birthday yesterday. Didn't get the birthday present for a win for INEOS Britannia, but there's his opposite number, you might say, and Grant Dalton, CEO of ACE and Team New Zealand, and just really just checking all the messages flooding in as they always are. So let's go into the water with Peter Lester. Peter, we know it's light right now, but there's a feeling that we might get a race off today.
Well, hopefully. Right now, it's pretty quiet out here, but the cirrus cloud, that white fluffy that's been hanging over the racetrack, it's dissipating with the heat. And then I look over the land, and right behind Barcelona to the north, I am seeing some cumulus cloud forming on the tops of the high land. And if we get enough heat generated in there, then you get the circulation. If we're going to get anything, it will be a light building thermal breeze.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate the time. You can see with our one-side IQ we were looking at a moment ago that green is good. We know where pressure is, and that's certainly be helpful for us. I know the sailors would love that, but they can't. They're doing a pretty good job themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what we'll be seeing today out on the water, fairly flat water conditions, which is really, really good. So that makes the boats easier to sail and easier to take off. In bumpy conditions, the hulls pick up a lot of drag, so you need more wind speed. In these lighter conditions, we'll be expecting to see both teams on their biggest sail packages. So 145 square metre mainsails, the big M1s, and also the J1 jibs, which are around 90 square metres. So a lot of horsepower to pick up that minimal breeze for maximum performance.
So much pressure on that British team, just looking at them sitting there, waiting for wind, not knowing if they're going to race or not, but certainly knowing they cannot make a mistake.
Yeah, I love that thought about and Ben would be pushing this get on the siege mentality, because that's what you have to do, right? I mean, you're facing match point. What else can you do? You just got to lock and load, eyes forward, and go throw everything, throw the kitchen sink at it.
Yep, get all the knives and forks and the spoons and the spatulas out and line them all up and chuck them hard, because that's what you've absolutely got to do. These guys will absolutely not be holding back today, and they'll be going out absolutely all guns blazing. So looking forward to seeing them race.
Some famous faces out there too, Shirley.
Carlo Berlenghi, probably the most famous yachting photographer on the planet. Loving it.
Definitely not retired by the look of those pictures at the moment. Still working hard.
Yeah, and a big fleet out there as well. So that's where we stand at the moment. So we are in postponement at this point on race day 6 of the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. And let's think about that number 6 and bring you some racing. And it is from race day 4, and it is race number 6.
This is the race committee. Wind sampling is complete. The race is live.
So let the duel on the waters of Barcelona begin again. Race 6 in the match. Scoreboard says New Zealand 4, Great Britain 1. What will it be after this match? You can only watch and wonder.
Both teams looking like they're relatively on time for their entries. Super important to make sure you have an on-time entry. Try and put your opponent on the back foot in the pre-start.
Killing, you're half late now, you get backing up.
INEOS Britannia coming in at 2 minutes 10. They'll put the brakes on just a little bit to make sure they get in on time at 2 minutes and 10. Wow, that's bang on. Green light for INEOS Britannia from port. And coming in from starboard, it will be Emirates Team New Zealand at the 2-minute mark.
Straight like this.
Both of them pretty strong. Tiny bit late, but now we watch and wait. Is there engagement?
Button. Straight in the sweet spot. Going upwind. There's get up to 2, 1, and board. You don't mind peeling?
British team rolling straight into attack. It's whether they actually roll into a jibe from there. Emirates Team New Zealand immediately going to a defensive position.
Next move, if they tackle me to go with.
In no space for the British to bear away and jibe on the option to tack.
He's gone.
Emirates Team New Zealand here will match and try and actually get into leeward of the British team here and actually stop them rolling over the top.
Can't, fast. Can't get your transom. Nobody push down.
British on the back foot here, Shirley.
Yeah, tricky position for the British.
If you can hold them out here.
Try and outroll past the Kiwis, get in front of them.
Watch the diamonds.
Okay, just watch the zone here and see.
They're going to use the boundary to escape here.
In the boundary. Just coasting down one front. Moving. Just make sure we don't get
roll. He's driving
here. Looking to roll. Flip. Peel. Facing.
Yep, peeling. Press hard for this.
The British will try and actually re-roll over the top of the Kiwi team here.
100% speed.
We're looking for a roll.
Emirates Team New Zealand trying to get underneath the British and hold them out from starting.
He's going to be early on the pin of this.
Let's just keep pushing.
Working down.
Get over if we can. We want to be read here.
Just doing a couple of Here we go, boys.
You're well. Working out them now. Killing one for the pin.
We're working on now. Pretty good for a ready.
Still killing one.
All the way. About 10, I reckon.
Okay, just getting safe on the pin.
Be surprised if we see Emirates Team New Zealand roll out early here.
Go now, go up.
It's fast, it's slightly got nice BG build.
Race 6 is a go in the match for the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup.
It's going to be advantage then, but all good.
Zero heel.
Well, they were even off the line in terms of distance, but INEOS Britannia were 10 knots quicker
20 this way.
than the Kiwis.
Stand by.
Definite win off the start line there to the British team. Emirates Team New Zealand having to get a tack in, so they will be effectively one manoeuvre behind, even with an even start.
We hadn't seen that play before in the America's Cup. So a few risky moments for INEOS Britannia, but clearly they had a plan.
With their time on distance, absolutely perfect to nail that pin end start. Half a second earlier, and they would have been over the line, so perfectly executed.
Nice and butter. They're marginal cross at best. Across.
This cross is tight. We heard Nathan Outridge.
200 slightly left.
It's marginal.
Yeah. Pretty average though.
All the rights with the Kiwis.
Happy to keep going.
Don't be surprised if we see the British tack back here. They're very, very close, so they may decide not to, but they'd love to if they could.
This is good for us to get the top right, boys. We all want this tack to the top at the moment. If we went all the way. I think they would hit us though on the next one. Probably want to go just over this ladder rung then, right? I think we choose our best line over this ladder rung. Probably we could get there one and easy.
Okay, stand by. Yep.
They'll hit us on Monday.
Yeah. Forward down.
INEOS, beautiful start. This reminds me of the Louis Vuitton races against Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. I think they like these conditions. The New Zealanders are behind. They'll need to just try and reduce the gauge between the boats.
But they don't have... Oh, mate, boys. They are marginal, but unlikely to get one and in.
Pretty good. 3, 2, 1. Forward down. Oh, sorry. More speed. That's way here, brother. I don't.
This battle is so tight. Nothing in it. Lining up for another cross.
Just trying to place up all the time.
Okay, I'll call it.
Okay, up on the breeze now. Very even on the last one.
Or we just go to ley line, I think. Maybe ley line here, Ben. Okay.
Voice of Dylan Fletcher. I mean, not really enough room to tack and defend.
So I think we're just
now. Close there.
Yep.
Okay. 15 to ley line.
The British team will just be minimising manoeuvres to try and save the 2 boat lengths.
Good wind at top left mark, and we're just getting into a little more
gain.
now.
Stand by.
Slightly left phase might be the only thing for us. A big wave to get over here.
Yep. 1 feet. Turning. Very well.
We've also seen how strong the Kiwis are at manoeuvres, particularly tacks. INEOS Britannia just limiting the number.
Still good, just getting over this one.
I don't think there'll be an opportunity to hit Emirates Team New Zealand here either. We'll just have to wait and see a close cross coming up. INEOS to give way boat.
Yep, they're continuing at the moment.
Top gate for the first time in race 6, and it really is what we've been expecting, another great match. But it's INEOS Britannia who've picked up the opening race of the day, who will lead the defender around, but there's not too much in it. Hannah, you've got to love this style of racing, don't you?
Yeah, this is what we all hope for, you know, a real good battle on the water, fantastic start by INEOS Britannia, and, you know, Emirates Team New Zealand done a great job up that beat just to keep it close, keep it tight.
Just a quick look at the ghost boat. Oh, has it tight in the cross. With the Kiwis slightly ahead, obviously more pressure that right-hand side of the screen.
Just open course as well.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, lengthening to 1.65 nautical miles.
Emirates Team New Zealand just rolling into a jibe out on the right, looking down the course. INEOS certainly look clear ahead. INEOS always look fast downwind. Bottom third of this first downwind will be crucial. How they set out for the bottom mark gate and what option they take for the second upwind.
Okay, I think what's the shift? Shift is left, isn't it? Shift is left, and there is good pressure this side.
Let's keep going, shall we?
Yeah. That's no good numbers. Increase in 5.
Just working on a flat boat here in general, Leroy.
Are they? Bit of righty now. I think let's take that.
Okay, stand by.
Yep. This wave. Okay. 2, 1, board down. 2, 1, made. Landing. Very well.
Interesting there, INEOS Britannia not going all the way to boundary, coming back a little earlier. So wanting to make sure that they keep themselves in between their opponents and that bottom gate. Both boats short jiving. Emirates Team New Zealand having to sail back through the wing wash, even though it's a diagonal cut of that wing wash. That will affect their performance a little bit being behind.
Taking the bottom here though.
Hit the pace a little. So with the ley lines, we just want to make sure we don't pepper the ley line too much if we have to go right, Mark.
Yeah, just hold on to that.
Think hard on it's good. Oh, look where he goes.
On hard on.
Nathan Outridge
nice
just
He's
keeping
gone
eyes,
slightly
sitting to
past
leeward,
his one.
passing that information back to the rest of the crew on what their opponents are doing.
2, 1. Hands get good main boys. Nice pressure here.
Nice exiting.
I see I look pretty even at the
Britannia
bottom
starting
here,
to look like a rocket ship in race 6. Again being sailed beautifully by the crew, and they lead after 2 legs of 8. So 2 legs of 8. There's still a long way to go, and there's Emirates Team New Zealand have to find something, because today seems today when Britannia are on point. They want 2 from 2. Can the defender stop them?
Transition in.
Back.
Oh good, good breeze again.
A few little wobbles on board Emirates Team New Zealand. Just having a little look at the data there.
Now we've probably
The average speed
Yeah, let's get over this right.
only half a knot better to the British team.
Yeah, I'm working it up.
Sailing their boat really well in these bumpy conditions, so
It's just gone left on us here.
Emirates Team New Zealand going to have to dig deep to get their way back into this race.
Yeah, we saw a really tricky mark rounding there from Emirates Team New Zealand. I think a couple of nasty waves just knocked their boat speed a little bit, so good gains to INEOS Britannia at that bottom gate.
It's a bit of a gain there for them.
Oh, good, this slight left phase.
Get back if they help.
Yep.
Still riding it. Good modes, eh?
That feels good, doesn't it?
Still just hanging left phase here.
INEOS made 3 boat lengths advantage on that downwind leg. I think the boat really likes the chop and the confusion of the water. It just seems to suit their foil package. The Emirates Team New Zealand, they'll just need to try and hang tough and look for a bit of pressure maybe. At the moment, they're pushing to the right-hand side as they go behind INEOS Britannia. INEOS Britannia looks a different boat today.
More pressure onto us in 10. Yeah, I still think let's get past this intersection.
Maybe a little leverage this way, aren't we?
Yes. You can do the clicker speed here. Yep, it's building now. Nice.
Just seems like, you know, the boat that's ahead really gets to make their own decisions. They really get to pick the shift, pick the pressure to manoeuvre in, and the boat behind's always slightly on the back foot. And, you know, INEOS Britannia definitely making it hard for Emirates Team New Zealand here.
2, 1, board.
We've seen that over and over again. The start is so crucial, particularly on this small racetrack.
3, 2, 1.
Making main.
INEOS Britannia and lovely pressure on the left-hand side.
Here we go. Okay, have to go flat. Yeah. Nice guys, going well.
Foils on board INEOS Britannia running their weight, or their centre of gravity ballast, if you like, out the back of their foil, whereas Emirates Team New Zealand are running theirs out the front. So both foils, one designed foil arms, but having to meet a centre of gravity rule, so both teams taking a slightly different approach.
I think it's like keep the tacks down and we'll get that on the run. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear Dylan Fletcher there talking about the keeping the tacks down.
Lads, it might just be the cloud, but it looks potentially light on the right at the top.
In this sea state, with the big waves, the tack loss is so much bigger than we've maybe seen in the previous days.
Just past ley line. Maybe next beat, we watch it. Yeah.
definitely lose less in flat water than you do in waves, so potentially a really smart call there by the British team.
Thanks, you'll got to watch the right upwind. Down by here. Yep. Forward down. 3, 2, 1.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shifting the course axis to 200. Course length now 1.6 nautical miles.
Let's keep it going. Lock it in.
Really close to the water surface there with that leeward foil as it was highly loaded, so
right turn. Happy left.
lucky not to get a big ventilation there, but all under control.
Yeah, all right.
Whatever INEOS Britannia has done in the last 24 hours, it's paying off at this point. 3 legs completed in race number 6, and they continue to lead the defender, hoping to make it 2 from 2.
Okay, mine. Okay, 2. 100.
Races like this are about seconds, not minutes, but seconds, and not making mistakes. The defender's around, but still, they are the chaser. It feels like they're the chaser.
Yeah, I think it's just over and go, eh? 30 seconds here, yeah, all the way.
Yeah, it was a really difficult, tight lay for Emirates Team New Zealand there. Just saw them drop boat speed coming into that windward mark, which just makes that turn down that much harder back to the downwind angle.
A bit of breeze here. Okay, standing by. Yep. 2, 1, 4 down. 2, 1, made. Standing. My well. 2, 1, come on, no push.
Hard work for the cyclers. A lot of trimming, watching that traveller go back and forward.
These days are absolutely brutal on board for power consumption.
Pretty
much sitting there with the throttle on the stopper.
That's all good. Right reset. 1, made. My well.
Seaway surely in these jibes. Well, making such a difficult boat.
It's gone forward. Chasing both with Rob Wilson. Team's in the groove.
Yeah, it's you know, the first one was a great race. You know, just having that little head start helped. This one, yeah, just managed to get a bit of control, but it's super tricky still. You know, sea state's really hard and it's quite shifty. But boys sailing well.
And Rob, we saw a very different manoeuvre from the playbook in the pre-start. Was that planned?
Yeah, they're carrying on. I think we're...
Yes, it was. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, don't want to say much more, but yeah, it was.
Oh, Robbie, how much would this mean to the team, mate, to come in after today with 2 race wins?
Still looks a bit dodgy.
There's a long way to go yet. Definitely not counting any chickens yet. Kiwis are sailing well, so let's see.
Thanks, mate.
Nice there.
Thank you.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shifting the course axis to 196 and shortening to 1.5 nautical miles.
Yeah, so INEOS Britannia there just down this downwind leg, just chose to put in an extra dive just to get back in phase and keep tight cover now on Emirates Team New Zealand, and to just try and, I guess, a bit more traditional match racing.
Pretty even, isn't it?
Sacrifice a little bit of your lead to keep control. Very, very smart sailing on board INEOS Britannia.
And control is something that they want to do, to come off this racetrack today with a second straight win and get that much closer to the defender, who at this point lead 4-1. And they are really being tested today, but they are being bested at the moment by a team that is sailing beautifully, and that is INEOS Britannia. Split surroundings.
Really low in the water there. They haven't got the cant all the way down on board Emirates Team New Zealand. Another unforced error from the Kiwi team. And a big touchdown, so not only a loss in the manoeuvre of the jibe, but a loss in the manoeuvre of the mark. So it's a big pump of the brakes and a run off onto the grass, so they'll need to dig their way back into this.
I think we got all the way to try and make a
INEOS Britannia were wide at that mark as well. I mean, it just gives us an indication how tough it is. Big manoeuvre in the waves.
to see boat there just not set up how it should have been for that manoeuvre. And a bit of a loss of the rudder there as well, so can and a bit of rudder all in one. So we've seen how hard it is to sail the boats well in these bumpy conditions. Great Britain doing a beautiful job getting locked in.
Definitely better breeze left, so yeah, if they hit him, we have to go back up.
Yeah, we heard it from Andy Maloney. It looks way more promising left-hand side of the track.
40 seconds till boundary.
INEOS heading across on starboard.
I think probably all the way to
They've really turned this one around today. So far, two beautifully engineered races. And that 24 hours that they had on INEOS to just have a look at the data, recalibrate, they've really put that to their advantage today. They're comfortable out by over 200 metres, and that magical 200 metres is so strong for the leading boat.
Well, we've seen two fantastic starts by INEOS Britannia today, and a race win and a healthy lead in this second one, so getting off the start line as per normal makes your day a lot easier.
So we've got 4 laps here. Can't get to ley line at the moment, they tack. The average shift at the moment.
Steering the boat, Dylan Fletcher, and the gold medalist from Tokyo.
I'd say just go to ley line. Really want to engage to the tack. Seemed like it.
It's really sailing their own race, Hannah.
Yeah, I think that Cease Day, we can't underestimate it. Manoeuvring these boats is tricky, and so kind of sailing your own race a little bit with one eye on the other team, I think seems like what the British are doing. They're doing a really good job so far.
Okay, 5 seconds. Okay, stand by. Forward down. 3, 2, 1, mate. Turning. Okay, mine. 2, 1, forward. Bit of windward here. Bit of slow one. Yeah, bit of windward. Feels light up here, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, on it, boys. 30 seconds left.
The wind is softening at the top of the course.
Okay, starting to push flat
it's
now.
got cloudier. We're seeing 9 knots now at the top. Boats on smaller jibs also.
Okay, they tack, they're going to go right turn again. How's it look out there? I think it looks really good for the left turn. Okay, copy. Little gains first from the previous. That wins my wheel. Cut, pressure up.
INEOS Britannia flying into the top gate. That will complete 5 legs of 8. They are in control. They've said they wanted to bring the fight to the defender, and they have brought the fight today. Emirates are around, heading down.
You just want to go the 10 here to get to that and then go. Yep. Actually, let's get that phase. 3, 2, 1.
Emirates Team New Zealand really
soft front.
Getting the scraps, being behind. It's really difficult to take all the wind shifts and pressure that you want to take when your opponent's in front of you. So
we were going upwind.
getting the cold meal left at the end of the bench, unfortunately, at the moment for the Kiwi team.
Should tow away a bit from here.
They're already quite far left.
One wobble though from INEOS Britannia in any of these manoeuvres. We know what's going to happen. Really, really difficult to keep the boats locked in. Big gains for sailing the boats accurately through the waves.
If he chimes, so it's step back out, you reckon?
Yeah, I think just sort of get the
Let's go on board the chase boat for Emirates Team New Zealand. Once again, check in with Ray Davies. Ray, a couple of uncharacteristic errors. I would suggest you wouldn't be the happiest coach right now.
No, that's a bit disappointing. We had them on the ropes here in that pre-start, and No, I just let them roll us on that last drive back to the line. So that was that was a bit of a shame because they'd done such good work of controlling that start. And but look, we're just one manoeuvre away from it, as everyone says, and we're right now we're as close as we've been to them. So yeah, it's all on here, only 100 metres behind.
Okay, thanks, mate. I'll leave you to it.
Nice gain here for us, guys. Yep.
Both teams just having to really sail the boats perfectly in this bumpy sea state, Shirley.
That smaller jib also not helping on this downwind leg. Apparently we've only got 9-10 knots.
There's not that much to hit us on the A with where they are. I wonder if we just go all the way, but your call, Pistol. Breeze looks it's a little lighter here than the average. I don't know if that's just globally down.
How would you be about following and really tacking out?
I think just go ley line here.
Looks like it's raining in the cockpit of the British cycle team, but it's not.
It's like they are going to potentially split.
Absolutely sweating bullets. Having to work extremely hard. They are the engine room to adjust these big sails, so if they stop, the boat stops.
Here we go.
There's not too much in this race number 6 of the match. INEOS Britannia, who won race number 5, have really controlled this race, which is what they would have wanted to do. Capitalise somewhat on a couple of errors by Emirates Team New Zealand, and with 2 legs to go, that second win is getting a little bit closer. Yeah, the race is getting a little tighter. Any team that gets this next wind shift right out of either side of the course take a gain or a loss, so very dynamic at the moment. You can almost hear a pin drop there, can't you, in the fan zone? INEOS can't know there'll never be a pin drop there. They'll just be yelling and yahooing, and why wouldn't you? They still lead in race 6 of the match.
I'm a little wide slope.
Well, there is more pressure where INEOS Britannia is, but we heard Pete Burling discuss that right-hand shift, and that would put Emirates Team New Zealand in a really favourable spot.
Clearance, lads, we're in the water. Just trying to make catalyst boards and times. No worries, guys, just keep it going here. Yes,
Just a little touchdown there for the British team. It wasn't their fastest tack, exiting out of that one. Still in a comfortable position though, but only just hanging on by their fingernails.
Yeah, Emirates Team New Zealand doing a really good job here of just keeping it tight, keeping the pressure on INEOS Britannia. Those manoeuvres becoming more and more tense.
Definitely happy to continue if they don't hit.
Decision here for INEOS, whether they tack on them.
They're playing our game now. Button. Nice way, no. Yep. Open, clear. Yep.
This is the race committee. We are moving the finish line, shortening the final leg to 1.3 nautical miles.
Big push, guys, I need Traveller.
So Emirates Team New Zealand will be wanting INEOS Britannia to engage and start rolling to some tacks, put the pressure on them. The British will be wanting to just sail fast into the breeze and shift that they're wanting. So
Kiwis are confident of their manoeuvres. We've seen in the last few days making gains, losing less speed with every tack.
Going board.
Oh, nearly a touchdown there.
Guys, try and lock it in here.
It's a little too much. Bow down from the rudder trim there. Too far kicked under the boat. They have got into a little shift though.
Big push, guys, give it everything.
Keep it fast in this intersection, that's good.
British team.
Continuing here, I think. Are you looking flat, Dalton?
Just in control.
Continuing this time.
Yeah, happy.
It's 25 to lay.
Okay, knocking it in, nice.
It might come back shaggy on it.
Good for guy, nice, here we go. Nice, guys. Slight left bias at the top. Moment go, one and in. Copy.
That's pressure all the way to lay.
Got 20 to lay line.
Look at this tack, just watch the rudder. It'll just kick under the boat a little bit there, and that actually just forces the bow straight into the water, so that elevator that's attached to the bottom of that rudder, lifting the back of the boat too hard, forcing that big bow straight in the water. Team doing a really nice job to catch that and keep the boat on its foils.
3, 2, 1, mate.
Both teams have split sides.
Bit of wind out.
Kiwis on the left. British coming back on starboard on the ley line.
Okay, flat boat. Happy with left? Yeah, happy left.
This is the last time both boats will be at the top gate. The run to home is next on the 8th and final leg. Downwind and still INEOS Britannia lead from Emirates Team New Zealand.
Working down.
Is it one wobble away for either boat?
Oils for it.
Anticipation building in the INEOS base, and you can hear in Ben Aisley's voice as well. He knows they're getting close to having a perfect day out.
3, 2, 1,
On board the INEOS chase boat, let's join Giles Scott. Well, Giles, crazy day. Was the talk of going 2 from 2 top of mind today?
It certainly was, yeah. I mean, it's not done yet, but we're doing a good job in this race. Done a good job all day, really. Yeah, I just hope we can finish it off. Bit of a nerve-wracking finish here with the Kiwis on our tail, but yeah, hopefully we hang on.
Giles, you're head of sailing. I'm sure it's been a busy couple of days. I mean, where do you think the performance gains have come from?
I mean, I won't go into too much detail, but we've certainly been working pretty hard to squeeze everything out of the yacht we can. We took the view to go sailing yesterday. Team New Zealand took a day ashore. I think we got some good learning out of that. Obviously working super hard in the sim as always, and yeah, just the whole team just mucking into, as I say, just squeeze whatever we can out of this yacht, and the guys are doing a good job today. And as I say, hopefully we can just finish it off.
All right, appreciate the time, Giles. It's just looking a little bit tighter.
It is indeed, yeah. Have a good one.
Boundary jibe. 10 seconds. Stand by.
The important manoeuvres by both boats in this final part of this race.
There is nothing in this. Both teams holding their breath.
Huge cross coming here with Emirates Team New Zealand just 60 metres behind as they come across on starboard. INEOS look to me as though they are ahead, but what a cracker of a match race. The biggest difference for me, I think, is the condition change that has really helped INEOS. It likes this bumpy water.
British team just need to whack this tent peg in with a sledgehammer, and they've got to get across the bow of Emirates Team New Zealand.
Quite enough. Okay, we'll rebuild.
That's a huge moment.
And that'll do for INEOS Britannia. On day 4, they are 2 from 2.
Yeah, boys, back in it.
And it's 4-2. You heard it. They're back in it.
Very, very nice work.
Nice fight, guys.
And across comes the defender. They will have a big review tonight.
Oh.
They've gone 0-2 today. Saturday in Barcelona, and good news for race fans in Barcelona and around the world. We are going to be going racing in 5 minutes and 27 seconds and closing. What a picture postcard view it makes with the Sagrada Familia in the background, and the boat's now thinking about race number 9 in the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. So you can get a little bit excited wherever you are around the world, or if you're in a fan village, because we are going to go racing. We'll have confirmation of that at 3 minutes. How will this day unfold? It's a beautiful Saturday in Barcelona. Stephen McIver, Shirley Robertson, Glenn Ashby, Peter Lester inside Kiwi corner. There'll be a lot of excitement today here. Can they get it done today? Race Village, Mol de la Fusta, jam-packed and ready to go. So what's the feeling? 1:43 to go before we get clearance. Who knows? Shirley, what's the mood you sense coming off the water and around the race villages?
Yeah, conditions have really improved. We'll have a look at the racetrack in a minute, but it looks really promising. The boats have been up and practicing, doing their pre-race routines, flying and hardly any wind, 6-7 knots of breeze. Still impressed by that.
Okay, we'll just quickly go into the water with Peter Lester. Pete, just quickly, feel good about racing, huh?
Yeah, it looks good out here, Stephen. Breeze has gradually increased a little bit, and I think this will be a good race, certainly at the bottom end.
All right, mate, the boats are up and falling, and we're good to go. Let's take a close look at what the weather and what the Ghost boat has for us as we head towards race number 9 in the match.
Well, the breeze has come in, as Peter says, but it is a racetrack full of jeopardy. We currently have gusts up to 11 knots, but in the lulls, it is 5. So staying out of those light wind areas, absolutely crucial. That is the massive risk sailing into the light airs. We see more tacks at the top end of the track. It's lighter up there, more wind at the bottom. And so we'll see the boats sailing lower angles just to stay flying. It's also very shifty, and we can expect a lot of instability, not hitting the boundaries, but looking for some advantage from the wind shifts.
Race number 9 in the match. Let's go.
This is the race committee. We have met the wind limit, and this race is live.
And that's all we want to hear. This race is live. By the end of this race, the match could still be alive, or one team will be thinking about raising the old mug. There's the score. Defender 6, Challenger 2.
Nice breeze here, around about 8 knots, so boats should be on the foils, both on big sails. Nice flat water conditions. Expect some engagement.
Emirates Team New Zealand coming into some port at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. They're cutting it right to the bone, and bang, look at that. Green light in, coming from starboard. It will be INEOS Britannia, 2 minutes and counting.
Happy with the plan, okay? Line's pretty square.
Time to go racing.
Shive if you want. Down here. 2, 1, made.
40 knots of boat speed in 8 knots of true wind speed. Very, very flat water. Expect the British team to be sailing up the exhaust pipe of Emirates Team New Zealand to put pressure on them in the pre-start.
Yours, Ben. They may potentially look to double tack out of this. Quite low in the box again.
That's good angle.
Killing a minute.
Out here a good time, so I think it'll be a round up there.
Coming here.
I think we jibe on them and then...
Big push coming up from the cyclone team in these upcoming manoeuvres.
Hey, oil.
Just watch them. Nice. They've gone inside. Ready to go here?
INEOS Britannia jibing inside.
Smooth, that's boat lay.
A lot of dirty air Emirates Team New Zealand having to deal with at the moment.
Up out.
Down here.
Board out.
All the way.
Half heel. Pushing.
Full speed when we
get there. Keep pushing down.
2.
INEOS Britannia attacking with them, making life difficult.
Go board down, stand by. 2.
Emirates Team New Zealand now tapping.
They're trying to go back in front of you.
British having to avoid as the giveaway boat.
2, 1, board.
A lot of dirty air for Emirates Team New Zealand to deal with. They have to punch through here.
For the line.
Killing 11, killing 10.
Really well controlled by the British, this pre-start. Massive chance in this light airs that the Kiwis get into trouble.
British doing a really nice job.
Breeze right is okay.
Okay, testing now.
Go through, so go above. Stand by, boys. Up and 5. Here we go, boys. Head it. Heading 3. All the way. Go hard. All the way up.
Race 9 in the match, and the race towards history continues on the Mediterranean.
That's a big moment. Surely Emirates Team New Zealand having to tap away. British winning that start.
Okay, so we are in a little lefty, but
Nice phase.
It was pretty even, that start, wasn't it? The British were slightly faster, 1 knot faster.
But yeah, I think you can get back before the boundary.
I agree, they're going to be... Yeah, we're actually done all right here, guys, so it's trending right.
Hey, you go in best spot. Your call,
10 seconds, that's going to have enough boundary too. 10 seconds, good.
Yeah.
So for those wondering what the inside of an AC-75 cockpit looks like, Nathan Outridge on the wheel at the moment.
Screen on the left gives you all the course information.
Keep pressing here to build.
Emirates Team New Zealand right away.
Strong here, they're ducking.
British having to duck early.
Angle.
Happy on the wind?
Nothing in this race.
A little more transition later. Yep.
20 boundary. Okay, just average at the moment. There's a little more inside of us.
Stand by.
Very good start by INEOS. I had them slightly ahead, with New Zealand having to peel and come over to the right. The New Zealanders then got a little bit more pressure and a punch forward to win that vital first cross.
Okay, they continue for now. Breezes still on the mean to left cross.
That was the cross. The Kiwis did well on that right-hand side of the track. There's a bit of a shift, also a touch more pressure.
Lefty at the moment, unfortunately. How's it look, lads? There's a pressure line kind of, 2 meters to our right. Yeah. Looks better on that side, I'd say. On the right? Yeah. They're just going around us a little bit in that lefty. They look like they're building for attack. They will cross at the moment. They're tapping here.
Easy cross.
We have to go past here, Ben. Yeah, they will cross there.
More on you too, Pistol here.
Yeah, sorry, I just rushed it a bit.
Okay. We'll increase in 5 here.
The breeze on the bow there. Surely
We're 40
British
seconds
team
from boundary. We can get
into what
into
Emirates Team New Zealand have just got their nose into.
Classic work done.
They won't have heaps of leverage about it, but I think just not afraid to do 2 tags.
I think that's our play here.
They've got 2s to go as well. And you could go up. I don't think you'll have time to accelerate and head, so it's just best position to the top. If you can lay, they're probably taking left as well.
It's
Nathan Outridge again there on the wheel.
You know, we've had this before.
Steering the AC-75. Obviously can't see all the numbers there, but that left screen is the tactical software screen for the race management.
Trending right slightly.
Your call, mate.
Big gains on them.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, lengthening to 1.8 nautical miles and shifting the axis to 185.
Just keep going and go. No, keep going. Just, there's a breeze here.
Yeah, looking at the course, a bit more pressure in the right. Now, we've seen this trend here before where it builds from the left, but then as it stabilises, the right-hand side gets quite strong. And that's that's the game Emirates Team New Zealand at the moment. I'm sure they've looked at the course and like what they're seeing.
You want to go here? Or you want to go all the way?
Your call. Happy to do 2.
I think I'm happy to go here.
Kiwis have done so well up here, in phase with the shifts.
2, 1.
Be a touch of pace, also getting them out of trouble.
Still need more.
Just really important to get that first shift. British did a great job at the start, but
it's normal build.
Only Ray Davies and the team will know whether that was the plan to hit that right-hand side early on. Hopefully we can find out later on whether that was the plan or not.
They're caving down into this righty now.
Just underneath this righty, so...
Emirates Team New Zealand definitely getting those first 2 shifts.
Would you ever try? No, I don't think we're going to
closer angle to that top mark than their opponents, INEOS Britannia.
Always got nice pressure.
I just want to check right in the meat of it, Pete. No, it's kind of
good.
Quite light at the top of the track. Seeing a maximum of 8 knots.
For this attack.
Well, it's just absolutely ripping upwind. 30 knots of boat speed going upwind. Around 8 knots of breeze, so extreme performance for not a lot of breeze.
1, 4 down.
Emirates Team New Zealand are about to complete leg 1 of 6 in race number 9. They got beaten at the start, but they have certainly put the foot on the pedal. Upwind on leg number 1 of 6. Long way to go, though. Both these boats are fast.
2,
One rolling away, all yours. Happy with that, Andy?
Yeah. I haven't had a good look right now, but from what I saw,
fans in Kiwi corner understandably happy. Why wouldn't you be? But fans of INEOS Britannia will also see that their boat is once again hunting and chasing.
Working away. Down. Okay, 2. 100. 1. Boys. 20. Yeah, I think we're clear, Ben. My trap. Yours. Any times. 2, 1, and put down. 2, 1.
The crowd's on edge. They're always on edge. It's always that first couple of legs. You're wondering how it's going to unfold.
It was a tough upwind leg for INEOS Britannia. Really dominated that pre-start. They expected more from that for sure. Kiwis look very slippery. Not putting a foot wrong.
With these flatter water conditions, boats much easier to sail, a lot easier day for Andy Maloney and Blair Tuke and Lee McMillan and Bledmont flight controllers.
Start to toe left from here, I imagine. It looks really even down with speed, strength-wise.
Yeah, just trying to get altitude. Nice boat, good there. Should be nice with some good boat here.
Here we go. Should be a lot more left down the bottom.
This one lasted a while on the way up, so just getting to that side of us now. So.
Sailing into a little more pressure down that side, Shirley, so potentially a couple of gains there, having to sail punch through that vortex of dirty air from Emirates Team New Zealand, but they won't be wanting to see what they're seeing out the front of the boat at the moment.
Finding left here. Looks a little bit light. Stand by. 2. Fine, forward down. 3, 2, 1, me.
INEOS just roll into their jibe over on the left-hand boundary. Both boats on their M1, biggest mainsail, and their J1 jibs. And they, even in these very light air, the boats look so dynamic. But still got to be very careful to keep both boats on the foils through the manoeuvres.
I agree with Peter there. Very, very easy to spin the rudder out with these big mainsails on, so more aerodynamic loading at the back of the boat, which loads up that little skinny rudder more than it would do in windier conditions. So having to make sure you've got good rudder immersion in those turns, otherwise you can spin out and splash down, so right on the knife's edge.
How we developed 9.5s have now sort of got a little bit to build here.
This flat water conditions, it does look like the boat is on rails. The way they keep the distance off the water.
I think this
millimetre precision there, it's so impressive.
Yeah, you're happy to go lay, but I think it might be nice on the way back, is what I'm saying.
With the flattest water we've seen here for the match in Barcelona.
I think you guys get FM team.
Boats creating their own wind speed as they sail downwind, about 4.5 times wind speed.
Button and board.
Best chance to look now, Andy. I'm kind of blind.
All good.
To me, I kind of feel like a right turn is good, but...
Yeah, I agree. That looks nice.
But it's a bit soft in that corner.
I think you extend like 100 metres and then we might have a good option to go across.
Nathan and Andy there.
It is a left phase here, that's the only thing.
Are they laying in?
Talk.
Yes, sure, it's a tight lay, but...
go right, Mark. Way faster manoeuvre.
Huge trust between these sailors.
Emirates Team New Zealand hitting to that bottom gate and holding a steady margin on INEOS Britannia. And it's steady. They take the right-hand turn. You heard them talking about it. They said, yeah, looks good. Well, it's good, and around they go. A third of the race distance done for the defender.
Right phase.
Take any off you can now, so I can get a little edge.
Family and friends right amongst it. It's INEOS Britannia, a third away through race number 9.
Beautiful mark rounding there on board the British boat. See the ride height today of both boats, really, really flying the boats high, so trying to reduce the hydrodynamic drag on those foils, but still having enough grip.
1, 8, turning. Very wide. 2, 1, board. If come back with. Okay, so as I'd say that. They might go on his head. And board. That we should be clear now. Hot spot.
INEOS Britannia have closed the gap. Good gains at the bottom end of the track.
Emirates Team New Zealand
pushing, they're still building.
paying a little bit of tax, coughing up a little bit of their lead to take control of this race, putting themselves in between their opponents on the top mark.
They're just living through to Lewis. But they've had to compromise their VMG for this.
To be honest, Bitty, I'd want to go with again.
Yeah, I think I'm happy with that.
They're fired. But you want to go Shaggy?
It'll ride here, yeah. Let's go, give it enough, we can actually wide mode.
And they're just crossing your line now.
Okay, there's another line in 10.
Board with Pete Burling on the starboard side. That wire rim there to satisfy a rule requirement.
Those ones we saw at the top,
obviously not needed
it's come down the course of it.
to hang on to, but they're for meeting the rules of the class.
Don't want to give them too much leverage that side.
Almost in zone.
Buttons on board operating a lot of the sail control, Cunningham's and settings on board the yacht.
1, 4, 2. That's very easy, but
keen to protect right from up here, I think.
A lot of separation. Emirates Team New Zealand carried all the way over to the right-hand ley line, and that's given INEOS a lot of separation on the left.
Yeah.
INEOS now have tacked because they were over here on the boundary, but Emirates Team New Zealand are certainly just playing the pressure shifts up the second one would be.
How will that be on them?
Big gains, Shirley, to the British team. They've lined up a couple of nice shifts there.
The 210. Just here in 10 seconds. Do you want to take it? Yes, so let's go.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shifting the course axis to 193.
And they've gone back, so I think you want to squash them that way. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think so. Just get to good numbers and let's go back. It's the dangerous side right now.
Definitely more pressure on that right-hand side of the course, so British happy for Emirates Team New Zealand to tack on so they could immediately tack away.
Okay, they come back.
Thinking that they're sailing into more pressure and better shift, and they're making gains on that right side of the course, Shirley.
Yeah, we've had a little right shift as well.
Digging their way well and truly back into this. About 10 degrees different in boats angles there. They will take a big chunk of distance out of Emirates Team New Zealand on this next exchange. And they will be the right-of-way boat. They've really closed the gap here.
2, 1, 4, 2. Hey, you're well? See to keep it bouncing into the pen.
Just enough room, wasn't there, for the Kiwis to defend.
1, mate.
They're out.
British immediately tacking away. They would have been straight into getting a face full of mud.
Come on, let's go.
Haven't got far to go to build speed and re-tack. Emirates Team New Zealand having to decide now what to do.
1, 4, 2. There's 2 windows head on. Stand by here.
Talk about those shovels always, about getting them out. Well, INEOS Britannia have certainly got the shovels out and they are making gains.
1, 4.
INEOS just tacking. As we look across, Emirates Team New Zealand are going to be ahead, but my word, INEOS are really taking it to the Kiwis here. INEOS's last tack from starboard to port, they just had a touch-and-go touchdown, but they're continuing to make good gains on the Kiwis, working this right-hand side of the track.
INEOS Britannia did so well there. They really used their speed. Apparently hanging in that high lane.
Left mark real strong.
This will be a battle of the high modes here. Both boats in a high, slow mode. British team happy to survive.
I think we do want to see the zone.
Put a swing if you want. Yeah. 25.
It's probably about 70 is your angle. They're pressing hard now.
26. Not yet. Good. Nice work, Dylan. 27.
INEOS Britannia doing well to hang in there, but both boats are over ley line.
29.
Kiwis holding the British up.
Split from them at the top. Okay, your wheel. Yeah, mine.
How good is this? A drag race to the top gate and monster gains by Britannia.
Expect to see a split at the top here.
One more down. Two. And
both teams, top gate, halfway through, race number 9 of the match.
Let's go.
And forward. That's a nice position for us, boys. 38s. Pretty nice.
Big wind shift coming through, Shirley. Big right-hand shift.
Let's go on board the chase boat for INEOS Britannia. Rob Wilson joins us once again when it's getting really tight, Rob. Beautiful job upwind.
Yeah, they left the door open very slightly on that second beat, which gave us a route back in just on the right side. And, you know, we're just pressing down that side now, hoping to get further into them.
Rob, how volatile is this racetrack?
It's been tricky with the building breeze. There's quite a big shift range, and you know, the ride's was pretty good on that last beat, but there's still some shift to play with for sure.
Lots to play for. Leave you alone.
Thank you.
Got one more pulse before the boundary.
I think he is here.
Little pulse coming here.
Little increase coming here.
New Zealand made a pretty nice gain by taking that right-hand side off the top mark. I think there was just a little bit more pressure, so they've just extended as you come down to the halfway on this downwind leg. But this is an absolute beauty of a race.
Yep, I've just pulled my helmet and goggles out of the cupboard and put them on in the commentary booth here. How about you, Shirley? Fantastic battle.
Good lifty on the other side.
2, 1, and forward.
Both teams having to execute their manoeuvres perfectly to maintain a best performance of both boats. Accuracy is key in this type of days.
They've gone just on lane. Should we want to
handlebars now.
try for left marking?
Yes. Yep.
Gains back to INEOS Britannia again, coming in
good down the inside. Looks like
on that right-hand side, sailing slightly more pressure at the moment than Emirates Team New Zealand.
That's going to be difficult for him.
Yeah. He'll be on the sail on that.
Yes.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 1.7 nautical miles.
Just below the IMSA.
Yep. It would be a pretty good move, I think, but what do you...
Just want to defend the right.
I can take either mark right now, it's good for me. Have a look at the wind, Blue.
I think
it's good right, actually. I'm happy to go, if you're making it okay, I'm happy to go right.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Left mark. Single. Happy on single board?
Yeah.
The defender continues to lead as they complete leg number 4, but look who's closing again. INEOS Britannia, 4 legs completed, 2 to go.
Really close rudder to the surface there, Emirates Team New Zealand. Big right-hand shift and pressure at the moment. INEOS Britannia laying in, but deciding to split and take that other mark. So big right-hand shift at the bottom of the course at the moment with pressure.
Just go flat here. Okay, good pressure here. It's a bit of a lefty if you're going to take it. A little bit of pressure.
We know this is tight. We know this is tight. And it is a classic match race here in Barcelona.
Okay, stand by. Yep. 2, 1, board.
Let's go on board the chase boat for Emirates Team New Zealand. Ray Davies. How are the nerves? How are the nerves? This is tight.
Oh, not bad. Yeah, it's a pretty tight race, and we're seeing a trend to the right. The right side was obviously very strong up that second beat, and we're on the right-hand side of them at the moment. But, you know, they're not letting us get away with it easily here. It's all on, that's for sure. It's good.
How confident are you that you can hold them?
Oh, and I think we're going all right. I think we're just going to settle into a better beat here, protecting the right. The right side seems pretty strong. There's sort of breeze improving and slowly going right. So, yeah, the gains have been out this side. So, yeah, I'm happy with what we're doing at the moment.
Yeah,
thanks, Ray.
You happy with that? It seems nice left. Starting to go right again. Starting to come right pretty quick. I can go any time here. I think a little further for the wind.
You're looking at the wind field. Looks good where INEOS Britannia are heading. More pressure on that left-hand side. It is not straightforward.
We saw how much ground INEOS Britannia made up on that second beat, pulling out almost 180 metres out of Emirates Team New Zealand on that work. So lots of shifts, lots to play for. And a big amount of leverage at the moment. Both boats on opposite sides of the course. So
it's not coming. Right.
This is the race committee. We are moving the finish line, shifting the axis of the final leg to 206.
Going to come right here, or
there's a little more.
Emirates Team New Zealand have just hooked into a little bit of a right hand. I think it's more pressure than shift on this right hand side as INEOS tack over on the left. Still really close. You can see that advantage line is just in favour of the Kiwis. But INEOS are not going away, very evenly matched.
Keep it down. Keep the boat ripping in this riding.
Emirates Team New Zealand on starboard tack right away boat. INEOS Britannia having to give way, but
you're going flat now, mate.
the right-hand shift will favour Emirates Team New Zealand now. It's what they do with it. Do they hit or do they keep going straight?
We're on intersection. You can get a little bit further here.
That is the correct move in that position.
Yeah, as Ray said, also Kiwis like that right-hand side, nervous of it, want to defend it.
Wing wash right on top of INEOS Britannia. They have to bail from there to keep their boat sailing at max performance, keep the air intake clean.
Hang high out of the stack. One board. A little bit.
Hey boys. How's it look up in?
Button and button.
Kiwis going with them.
This way on this tack.
Loose cover, shepherding them over to the left-hand side.
Nice guys.
Don't load. Yeah, don't be too aggressive on the build here. That's nice.
Nathan Outridge now on course management and eyes on their opponent on the downwind side of the boat on the left.
That's going to be in 5.
Yes.
A little further. 3, 2, 1. Probably just a ley line.
It's a carbon copy of the last manoeuvre, just lining their opponents up. So they're right in their exhaust gas.
Not quite as good out here this time. It's a bit more even across the course.
It's only 10 delay.
Yep.
Still sitting on your hips.
Going a little over.
Give it a couple of lengths.
Both boats lined up, coming directly to the starboard ley line. The New Zealanders have gained on this upwind leg by just pumping the right-hand side. But still pretty close, but New Zealand look pretty comfortable.
Easy, no, they're going to have to go way further. Nice speed.
But it's not massive riding.
The British now having to do 2 manoeuvres if they want to split at the top. So
there was more halfway up, eh?
Both boats needing to be locked in on this top mark.
Yep.
The cool heads of Emirates Team New Zealand. This is the final upwind leg.
And all the way.
They turn the boat downward and they're on course for history.
2, 1, made.
INEOS Britannia.
All the way around.
Final top gate rounding.
British team having to tack there to keep their air clean. They would have been a lot of vortex and disturbed air to sail around behind Emirates Team New Zealand. They'll be hoping for some pressure down that side of the course.
Taking main.
Costly, those manoeuvres, aren't they? Look at the meters.
Every manoeuvre about a 2-boat length loss upwind. The British having no choice in that particular case, having to split away.
Come back. Yeah. Like different angles. Quite big angle, different at the moment. Yeah, you can take it if you want.
Fine. Put down.
3, 2, 1, main.
Turning.
No mind.
2, 1. Inboard.
INEOS Britannia running out of options.
boys.
Still another
What do you mean? We had him on
manoeuvre
the
or two
second
for
going out,
Emirates Team New Zealand. They need to keep concentrating and keep locked in.
Starting to lift here again. They could be open whether we step down or carry on. Not heaps in it.
Nothing like amazing here. We're just going to get knocked for a little bit longer here. We're just running on the edge of a little bit of pressure.
Bottom edge?
Yeah, we're just in it nicely. Yeah, bottom edge we are. 120
I think I'll get heaps further right than this. No.
Very calm comms on
Nice
Emirates
lane,
Team New
guys.
Zealand, feeding in the information from both sides.
Boats nice and
Be
easy
nice,
to
mate.
sail and steer in these flat water conditions, so it's all about sailing off your numbers, making sure you're sailing the boat at
shot back in the
absolute
middle
maximum
ground.
performance.
I think
for
we're
their
good all the
speed.
way here.
Sail it to its design targets.
Yeah, I'll just get a boundary job. 20 seconds.
Yep, all good.
Potentially one more jibe for Emirates Team New Zealand, the British jibing back.
Got it, mate.
I'll be
I
hoping
got
for a
it.
mistake in
5,
this next manoeuvre.
2, 1, board.
New Zealand are one of the most storied teams in America's Cup history. They have won the Cup twice, and they have defended it twice. But this one is just a little bit special.
Taking out of it in that one, please.
Here in Barcelona, we are witnessing Emirates Team New Zealand deliver a Mediterranean masterclass.
Oh, yeah,
They
there
are
you go.
about to become the first team in modern history to lift the trophy 3 times in a row. You better believe it. The three-peat is complete, and Emirates Team New Zealand win the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup.
Count me in.
2, 1.
Beautiful, boys.
And a massive congratulations to all the team at Emirates Team New Zealand. Very, very well sailed.
Awesome.
Great campaign.
They were so impressive, weren't they? And the few times they were challenged, they just came back stronger.
But let us not forget the valiant challenge from INEOS Britannia. They threw everything at them.
Nice idea.
Everything. And they must too be congratulated.
They certainly should be. Absolutely
Well done, boys.
fantastic
Yeah.
opponents. INEOS Britannia, they should be all
nice.
extremely
Nice, boys.
proud.
Good work, Shreki.
Yeah, the British made history here. There won't be much consolation from that, but they are a growing force. They'll be back.
All those hours, all those years, all the sacrifice, the shore crews, the families, the children.
Give me a spin if you're on the starboard.
Anytime, Will.
And they have obtained what they wanted to do. They have successfully defended the America's Cup. Let's go on board the victorious boat Taihoru, talk to Peter and Nathan. Peter, first of all, congratulations. You've made history 3 in a row. What are your initial thoughts?
Oh, mate, what an amazing feeling. It's been a tough battle all week, but yeah, amazing scoreline, and really proud with the way the team just kept battling today.
It's so good to see you celebrate, the entire team, so cool and composed for this whole America's Cup. And what does this mean to the sailing team and the wider Emirates Team New Zealand?
Oh, to be honest, I think it's still just sinking in. Yeah, this team hasn't obviously got a few bad memories before my time of sitting on match points to be able to get it done today. I mean, what an awesome day. Barcelona's just been absolutely amazing, and yeah, what an amazing feeling.
Oh, well done, Pete. Congratulations to you and all the team. But Natho, your first America's Cup win, mate, how does it feel?
It's pretty special. You know what it's like, Lenny, sailing with this group of people and being involved in this team. It's been a huge journey. I've loved every minute of it, and it was great to close it out today. It's yeah, it's been a big dream for a long time, so it's so awesome to be here with everyone and and achieve it. And yeah, looking forward to the celebrations tonight.
Oh, fantastic, mate. Well, I'm stoked you've had the opportunity, and well done and enjoy. I know it's been a massive job for you and the whole team and all the families. So congratulations. I think Shirley's got a couple of questions as well.
Yeah, Nathan, as Glenn said, it is your first Cup with Emirates Team New Zealand. What is it? What is the magic that keeps on delivering?
It's the people. It's all the people climbing on the boat right now that work very hard. You know, this isn't just a sailing competition as most of us think it is. It's a huge design and engineering competition. And, you know, the guys that have been working for 3 years to put this boat together for us, the people who have been building it, the people who maintain it on a daily basis, it's a massive team effort, and I'm just honoured to be a part of it and really happy we were able to deliver on the water when it counted.
Well, congratulations, mate. It's a special moment. Get out of the cockpit. Go on. Go and celebrate.
Thanks, guys.
Wow, you're first. Do you remember your first?
I do. And hello, Emma and family. Congratulations. All the families involved in all these teams, you know, put in a huge effort, and definitely is a massive partnership for the families with everyone on board. They should all be congratulated as well.
We will get to our special moments in just a moment. We have to go on the other side and pay tribute to a gallant challenger, and that is INEOS Britannia. Ben, commiserations. I have to ask you your immediate thoughts right now.
Yeah, just firstly got to say a huge well done to Team New Zealand. I mean, what an amazing campaign and team, and in my view, I think they're the best team ever in the America's Cup, so that's quite some achievement, so well done to them. And to our team, I just can't say enough thanks to everyone for all of the effort they put in over the years to get us this far. And you know, it's been a hell of a road through this event to get this to this finals. And we had our moments in the finals, but you know, end of the day, the better team won.
And Ben, it has been an absolute privilege to help tell the story, and what a journey it has been over the summer. Barcelona is filled with British fans. All your fans are watching back in the UK. What do you say to them, and how does the performance here in 2024 bode for the future?
Yeah, I'd just say a huge thank you to everyone that supported us down here in Barcelona and back home. It's just been incredible to see, and I tell you, it's made a huge difference to the team, especially when we've had a few tough moments, which inevitably happens in these campaigns. The support we've had, just amazing. And so, you know, this isn't going to be the end of the journey for us. We set out 10 years ago to win the America's Cup. We're getting closer each time. The trick is to keep going and get it home the next time.
Ben, thanks for being so accessible. We're going to jump across and talk to Dylan, his first time in the America's Cup. Dylan, I know it's not the result you would have dreamed of, but can you explain the experience of being in the Cup and sailing with the likes of Ben?
It's been absolutely incredible. The team have been amazing, and just want to say just a massive thank you to everyone in the team and all of the supporters we've had out here. It's really been amazing seeing everyone and willing us on, and as Ben said, it's certainly been making a difference, and yeah, I feel very proud. I guess it's disappointing right now, but still a very successful campaign, and as Ben said, we'll come back stronger.
Well, from all the people I've spoken to and know a lot more about sailing, they're very proud of what you have done and the skill that you show. We look forward to seeing you in many America's Cups, Dylan.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go back across towards the winning boat, Taihoro, the winning boat of the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. 3 in a row. How about that? History created on the waters of the Mediterranean. Confirmation, race 9. It's one and done. Emirates Team New Zealand with a 37-second win against INEOS Britannia. So they started off like a rocket. They went to a 4-0 lead, then suddenly the tide turned, and it really did turn in races 5 and 6, and then the brakes came on in races 7 and 8. Yesterday it was perfection from Emirates Team New Zealand, and today they were pushed. Oh, they were pushed, but they got the job done. This is the winning moment when they get across the line and know they've done it.
Awesome.
Awesome. Simple as that. That was the voice of Nathan Outteridge. His first America's Cup win. Nothing can be taken away from that.
It's such a good moment, isn't it? And finally, the cyclers get out the pedals and celebrate.
Good work, Shreki.
Yep. How about that? May look like a small team, but it's a monster team offshore. And this is the sort of crew that understand what it makes to get to this point. And this point is all they dream of. Many have tried before. Many keep trying.
Ben called them potentially the best America's Cup team ever. And he's not wrong. I mean, faultless sailing all summer and really delivered when it mattered most on the America's Cup stage.
Think about this. Night one of the preliminary regatta, and there's a crane mishap. Think back to that moment when Grant Dalton said that could have been a campaign finisher. They might not have got to this point. Boy, the sailing gods were smiling on Emirates Team New Zealand that night.
There's certainly some of the best boat builders, shore crew, and behind the scenes personnel in both teams. And you look like a tactical genius when you're sailing fast. So to the designers on both teams, very, very different aerodynamic and hydrodynamic packages, but incredibly close performance across two teams. So hats off to both teams for pushing the boundaries of our sport, and we certainly have seen some incredible racing and incredible performances. So the future's bright for the America's Cup. Looking forward to the next one. What are the boats going to look like then? Lucky we're going to see a new version of the AC-75.
It's quite funny. They've just won the America's Cup and the sails have been dragged down, and Pete's going, what are we doing? What's next? Well, we know what's coming up shortly will be the Moe moment, and they'll be spraying plenty of that around, 4 large Jeroboams of that to celebrate winning the Cup. And the actual presentation of the America's Cup will be done at 7 p.m. local time here in Barcelona on the main stage of the Mall de la Fusta. So if you are in Barcelona watching this on YouTube or wherever you're watching this, make your way around, because there's nothing better than the celebration and the respect shown too by both teams to each other, because it feels like always it's a boxing match. You go in wanting to try and knock the other bloke's head off, then when you get out you say thanks, appreciate it, then let's do it again sometime. They did it 9 times.
That respect that I think all the teams have with each other, both in design, engineering, electronics, hydraulics, behind the scenes, admin, it just goes on. And I think that's the beauty of sport and international competition, is your fierce opponents and competitors on the water, surely, but at the end of the day, you can have a smile and look each other in the eye and have a refreshment at the end of the day, and that's the most important thing, that respect and camaraderie.
Not just in the sailors, as we say, this America's Cup is the ultimate team sport. You know, 150, maybe more, 200 people. Decision-making, execution have made this happen, and for sure on shore there's a load of designers, meteorologists, engineers celebrating this moment.
Definitely a massive, massive team effort there, and not only for the team but also the country of New Zealand as well. A lot of suppliers and sponsors behind the scene there as well, and internationally.
Ray Davis there trying to organise the flag moment.
Well, Cobber still organising the troops.
Yeah, you need a coach for this.
Yeah, he deserves a medal, Ray Davies, keeping the wheel nuts firmly on the whole campaign from a sailing perspective. Josh Jr., Sam Meach there as well. A massive part of the quarter side of things on the sailing team.
I mean, let's talk about the access that they have given us, all the teams have given us since, gosh, the 20th of August from the preliminary regatta, and it's unparalleled access really in the world of sport, and they have been so willing and so giving all the way through that the experience has been more immersive than many.
Well, you think what the team has achieved, not only the AC-75 class, but the AC-40s, the women's and youth America's Cups, hydrogen foiling powerboats in this America's Cup as well. a lot of effort put into a lot of different boats, and all teams being able to access that technology and raise their own game. So it's a big job and executed well at the end to get the chocolates.
We've had a great summer, haven't we, of sport and drama, and really the brainchild of Grant Dalton, the leader of this team. He wanted a festival of sail, and Barcelona delivered.
Certainly hats off to Grant and all the team for having the vision, being able to put all the pieces of this massive puzzle together. Been a man under pressure for a long time, and he'll be absolutely just feeling a huge sense of relief at the moment, as will the whole team, of being able to get the job done. And single-handedly, Grant Dalton, I've never known anyone else that can take on as much on one person's shoulders than what he can. And hats off to Daltz. He deserves to have a cup of tea and a lie down this evening, that's for sure.
20 years he's been driving Emirates Team New Zealand. It's a proud moment.
Well, the celebrations will begin tonight, but one might suspect the preparations for number 38 will begin tomorrow morning.
There's always something to look forward to. The sun always rises the next day, as it will for both teams, and I'm sure now the planning will begin for the future, but you never want to have those planning discussions before you cross the finish line in the America's Cup. But I'm sure from now on, there'll be a lot of discussions to be had.
Spectator fleet crowding around the victorious boat.
As long as none of them get stuck in gear, everyone will be in good shape.
When you talk about that boat, you sometimes go back to what it was named. It was named Taihoro, to move as swiftly as the sea between both sky and earth. And it moved swiftly, and it moved swiftly in the last 2 days. Races 7, 8, and 9. Swiftly to the finish line and the history books of the America's Cup. Another chapter in this wonderful competition, the oldest sporting competition in the world. And there is your winner, Emirates Team New Zealand.
A lot of boats out there, all getting a pretty close-up view of Taihoro, AC 75, Richard Meacham, Kevin Shoebridge there in the background. Massive players in getting Emirates Team New Zealand on the start line, not only in this campaign, but in campaigns gone past. Huge experience. And one of the big things with all teams is that blend of experience, knowledge, but also youth and skill set coming through. The team doing a great job over the years of getting that mix right.
It is going to be one very slow trip back into the base. Still waiting for that champagne moment. We know it's getting close, very close.
Get those big twin skin mainsails packed away. They will come and see the light of day at another time, I'm sure. And sure once that champagne gets popped, we won't be seeing a 2-knot tow back to the harbour.
Both on the water and on the shore, it is full of black Emirates Team New Zealand shirts. The Kiwi sports fans are something else, really support their talent.
So we're seeing two very important gentlemen. There's Pietro Beccari, and the gentleman they're bringing up now is Bernard Arnault. Both very important men. They are chairmen, CEOs of Louis Vuitton. And And they will be handing over the Jeroboams for the victorious team to spray them away.
One of the most satisfying moments on board your race yacht is when you get to pop the top on one of those bottles with your teammates and the rest of the team, and that's something that sponsors and alike absolutely get to enjoy as well. Doesn't happen very often. You've to make the most of it when it does.
And if you're in New Zealand and watching that flag go up right now, you're pretty proud.
Surprised we didn't see two flags get pulled up there, seeing it's a twin skin mast, but one'll do.
There you have it, the winners of the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup, Emirates Team New Zealand. I bet your face hurts a lot after just the constant smiling after winning it, doesn't it?
Seems like a bit of a dry argument at the moment. I'm not sure where the champagne is, but...
Yep, still waiting.
I'm sure someone's got it somewhere.
That's such a good shot, isn't it, with the city of Barcelona behind. It has been a fabulous venue, delivered day after day.
Hear the voices of some of the structural engineers behind the scenes at the moment saying we can't have that many people up on the foredeck. Hello to all you guys from both teams. Both teams incredibly reliable in this America's Cup Louis Vuitton final match. Absolute testimony to the technology and development of both teams. Incredible performance on both boats.
So fitting. We saw that big white flag that they hosted up. Thank you, Barcelona. It's been special.
Absolute epic location for this match. Been able to be on schedule the whole way through.
And there it is, finally. The Moe moment for Emirates Team New Zealand. They were saying, where are the goggles? We needed the goggles. You have goggles nowadays for that. Forget it.
The champagne in the eye, never hurt anyone.
The cyclers.
Coach Davies, he deserves a bit of a drink as well. Certainly be some thirsty cyclers on both teams, I think, this evening, Shirley. Simon van Veldhoven, one of the keys to the cyclor team in 2017, pretty much the first employed cyclist in this new era of foiling America's Cup, track cyclist.
The Rhino.
Absolute legend on the pedals, and he's certainly brought some experience with him. Josh Jr., Marius van der Poel, the team all in their second America's Cup with the team. Blair Tuke on the team as well since 2014, so a decade for Blair Tuke and Peter Burling. I'll be very proud of the whole team.
I bet you that tasted sweet for Grant Dalton. Been a long road, but the job has been completed. Mission accomplished, Emirates Team New Zealand. Oh, you know what's going to happen now, the spectator boats.
Yeah, this is where Chris Curly Salthouse earns his money as the chase boat driver. Tries to part the seas and get Taihoro back to the dock in one piece. Done a good job so far, but he's going to earn his money this afternoon. Trying to peel his way through that spectator fleet.
Oh, I think they'll part, the seas will part pretty quickly for that mighty AC-75. Nate's going, how much did you drink?
With all these guys being lightweights at the moment, it won't take much, and they'll have to be careful of steering this thing back in. But absolutely stoked for Nathan Outridge to win his first America's Cup. Doing a brilliant job. Fantastic inclusion to the team, bringing a lot of experience and knowledge, and certainly a lot of racecraft as well.
Well, Shirley and I can think back to the Auckland, and Nathan Outridge was sitting in your position, and now he's holding up the America's Cup. And you know what? Couldn't happen on a nicer bloke.
As a good mate, I'm absolutely stoked that Nathan's had that opportunity to come through and show his skill set and showcase what a fantastic person and yachtsman he is. And as a mate, hats off to Nathan and his family for what they've put into yachting and the sport over the years. Great moment for him and the family.
We had a right tussle in the pre-start, beautifully executed by INEOS Britannia. They had to come out punching, and they did, right on the air of the Kiwis. Kiwis tacked away immediately. This is kind of where we began to saw the tables turn. They picked up something on that right-hand side, which led to this.
I don't have heaps of leverage. That feels nice, eh?
Kiwis ahead and extending, picking their way through the minefield of puffs and lulls. Beautiful racecraft. INEOS, though, came back. The Kiwis let them off the hook. Ben Ainsley grabbed it. There was nothing in it.
They're out.
Let's go back up to them when we
Right into them here, guys. Come on, let's go.
But by the finish, they did not put a foot wrong. Winning the 37th America's Cup, Emirates Team New Zealand.
Beautiful, boys.
This pre-start surely was really quite a good one. Both teams really pushing hard for the advantage. INEOS wanting to secure that leeward advantage off the start line. Emirates Team New Zealand clearly pushing hard to win that right-hand end, and we've seen plenty of manoeuvres. This was, again, a really aggressive pre-start. Not a lot of wind, so only around about 7.5 to 8 knots at the bottom of the course, so both teams doing a really nice job to keep the boats on the foils, aggressively lining each other up, and the British doing a really nice job in executing to win that leeward position. But Emirates Team New Zealand wanting that right-hand side, being able to tack away and get into that first shift. And as we've seen, that first shift has been the winner of the last 3 races here in Barcelona.
Well, this was leg 3. INEOS Britannia were right back in it. The Kiwis did well just to keep control. The racecraft really excellent, had a great picture of what was going on.
But huge gains back to INEOS on that first half of the work, and Emirates Team New Zealand having to do everything to stay in a high mode to keep the British team in their rearview mirrors. Bow down right at the end, and INEOS Britannia splitting at the top there to try and gain an advantage down that right-hand side of the course. Some of the stats on board here, and 37-second win to the Kiwi team. Top speed just a little higher to Emirates Team New Zealand, and the downwind speed just a little bit as well at times. In the end, the distance sailed very similar by both boats, and almost the same VMG. So as we saw, that string just kept stretching and coming back, and just a very small advantage to Emirates Team New Zealand at the end, just one less manoeuvre. Both boats doing nearly 30 manoeuvres in that race. Some of the stats on board here, and Cam Webster, 1,239 watts of power peak speed. Ben Cornish almost identical. So huge wattage there. Both teams in those light air conditions nearly putting out 1,000 watts as peak speeds individually. So a massive push there from those teams, and they've just showcased what absolute machines they are, and hats off to both teams for what they've put in over the series here in Barcelona.
Yeah, phenomenal athletes.
Well, I wouldn't want to be left behind in that flotilla coming in. Should be a bumpy old day as we see Emirates Team New Zealand, Taihoro being towed in by Chase 1. And there will be a fairly large amount of noise coming into the harbour, I'd imagine, in about 10 or 15 minutes' time as Taihoro gets towed back in through the harbour.
Makes an impressive sight, doesn't it? Just we used the word, we've used the word ripping all along, and it's now ripping it and hard to tell obviously, but gee, it makes a beautiful sight, doesn't it? Saying thank you to Barcelona, flying the New Zealand flag proudly, knowing that they are an enormous part of America's Cup history. It's been another chapter written, and I've got to say, I will come back to this again. INEOS Britannia never, ever, ever gave up hope. And that race, as we just reviewed, man, they were close, weren't they? They got really close. And you said it a number of times. One moment, and they could have been in the front.
Absolutely.
And still been alive.
Absolutely. And we just saw, you know, with the data, just how close both boats were in their performance numbers. And I think that's a really, really telling sign. I think, as I said before, the boat to get the first shift off the start line was really the boat that did well in those last three races, and absolutely hats off to INEOS Britannia for their campaign, their aggressiveness in their design philosophy, their foils, their rig plan, and their aerodynamic package, as well as their engineering package on their boat. And they were absolutely right in this, and a massive opponent for Emirates Team New Zealand. They beat Luna Rossa Prata Prali in a really tightly fought battle in some really big turbulent conditions. So Barcelona really has delivered, you know, some wonderful, wonderful conditions here on the Mediterranean, and we've seen a real variance of conditions: flat water, light wind, bumpy water, heavy wind, bit of medium wind, shifty, steady. We've been really delivered a little bit of everything, which has been fantastic to see.
As Shirley quite rightly said, it has probably been the most beautiful backdrop to a racetrack you will ever want to see. The Sagrada Familia sitting in the background, a tourist magnet. It is incredible, but what has been incredible is the fact that New Zealand has made history, and the man who has been an integral part of all that is the boss, Grant Dalton, who will join us right now. Smile will not be wiped off his face, I'm sure. Grant, from everybody in New Zealand and your whole crew, congratulations, mate.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Awesome effort for the team today. You know, we were under pressure on Wednesday, regathered ourselves yesterday, and had sailed a couple of beautiful races, and again today. And a credit to the whole team, really. You know, it's the guys on the boat have got to deliver, but they've got to be given the tools to do it, and everybody's done an amazing job.
Yeah. Grant, this was your vision to have the America's Cup here in Barcelona, and it has been an incredible summer. Just how thrilled are you with how it's been here in the city of Barcelona?
Yeah, well, it starts from the hosts and works from there. I mean, the City Council, Generalitat, central government, and the port have been amazing. You know, they've embraced it since the moment we came here, and all of the teams have loved it here. I mean, the conditions have been great. A lot of people said there wasn't going to be enough wind, and, you know, we've just had amazing conditions. And also, I think what's helped is that the locals have embraced it so well, and there's so many people. I mean, there's literally, it's damn near millions now. Kiwis have come in their tens of thousands, and we're very proud of that as well.
Daltz, Lenny here. Congratulations, mate. I know personally how much you've put into all this, and a lot of people sort of said at the time there was a lot on your plate: AC40s, hydrogen chase boats, AC75s. You've managed to do it all, mate. What are your thoughts, and what would you like to say to people that thought you might not have been able to fit it all in, mate?
Well, I didn't do it all, Lenny. You know, it's the people around you that do it. I just kind of the conductor of the orchestra, and you know, the event, there's been such amazing people running that, you know, and I've just been kind of a bystander in that to a point. And you know, we're really proud. Leslie Ryan, who has basically run the event, is just a machine. And also with the team, you know, as you know, like I know, this isn't a job. This is a vacation and a passion and a life, and you don't do anything else. I mean, everything else is getting ready just to work the next day. So it's a real credit to the people that have been involved, and to all the support we've had from home as well. You know, it got off to a bit of a rocky start, but since then it's been amazing. And yeah, when you look around, all you see is Team New Zealand, Emirates Team New Zealand shirts and amazing support. I mean, just what we saw when we were shaking champagne, literally it was like being in Auckland.
So what's tomorrow look like for Grant Dalton?
Well, you know what tomorrow looks like, mate. It's just bloody... I remember last time in 21, Richard Meacham and Kevin Schubert thought they were being smart, texting me at 4 o'clock in the morning while they were stumbling home. And I was actually at my desk working. So that's just how it works, you know. I mean, you got to... The hardest day of a campaign is the day afterwards. And but, you know, just today's for today, an amazing event. And the guys have done an amazing job. Just so proud of them.
Right, mate. Have a cup of tea and a lie down.
Grant, one final question from us. Do you have any indication of the next challenger of record, and what does the future hold for the America's Cup?
Well, the future of the America's Cup is bright, of course. I mean, 173 years. It's the oldest sporting trophy in the world, always will be, and is the top of the sport. Challenger record will be announced in due course. Obviously, something's had to happen as we cross the line. That's just how the game works, and we'll wait till that's announced in due course in a few days.
Go and enjoy the celebrations.
Thanks, guys, and thank you. You've done a great job, and I think the commentary's been great. The TV's done an amazing job. The graphics have been amazing, and you know, the product's been great, and it's free to air around the world. So many millions of people have watched it.
Appreciate the thoughts, mate. Enjoy.
We'll take that. Thanks, mate.
So very confident looking forward. Didn't give too much away. Not about the challenger of record, but that's as he said, in time to come, as we see a big fleet, and it is a big fleet that's been chasing INEOS home, chasing Emirates Team New Zealand home. It'll slow up a little bit, and there they come into their port dock and their base, and oh wow, I can't understand or imagine how they must feel, because they threw, and they did, Glenn, throw everything at the defender. Those two comeback races where they felt they had some sort of momentum, and we're all going, well, hang on a minute, here we go. But the following day, and that's what it's about, and this is simply what it's all about.
Yeah, well, I've certainly been on both sides of these programs. I've had a loss, and I know what this feels like, and I've also had a couple of wins, which I know it feels like as well. And coming in and seeing your family and your fellow team members is a very special moment, and the whole team at INEOS Britannia should be absolutely extremely proud of what they've been able to do and put together absolutely incredible opponents. And Sir Ben Ainsley, full respect to you, mate, for what you've done. It'll be a hard afternoon for Ben, and I've been there myself, and I know how tough it is, but he's absolutely got full respect of the whole sailing world and the whole sporting world for putting up an incredible battle and being a fantastic leader. It is a big team effort though, and he's got a great group of people around him that have supported him for a long time. So spend time with the family, Benno, would be my advice, mate, while you can. And very difficult time at the moment for the whole team, but they should be holding their heads high. Absolute full respect.
We understand that Emirates Team New Zealand and INEOS Britannia have had a very good relationship as defender and challenger of record. Would it surprise you to see that they come back as official challenger of record?
Oh, look, I think as Grant said, you know, that will be brought out in the next few days. It wouldn't personally surprise me at all, but look, I'm certainly not privy to those discussions going on behind the scenes. So Lee McMillan there, a great mate, my old Olympic training partner from years gone by.
So your emotions are a bit split, aren't they? When you see men that you've sailed with and spent time with, right?
Spent a lot of time with a lot of these guys. Freddie Carr as well over the years, and a lot of the guys, Giles as well. A lot of Olympic campaigns they've been sailing in, and been with those guys a lot of times over the years, and know a lot of the guys behind the scenes as well, shore crew, engineers, and absolutely hats off to the whole team. I know it'll be tough, but full credit to the team for doing such a brilliant job and putting together a package that was just so competitive.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you mentioned it when we were watching it coming back in, about the bravery to take a design focus that was literally clearly away from what everybody else was thinking. My first initials were, that's just a big lump, but it was a very fast lump.
Well, a lot of people wrote INEOS Britannia off 2 or 3 months ago, thinking that they were going to struggle to even make it through to the Louis Vuitton semi-final, and wow, how they've turned that around. An absolutely incredible increase in performance and sailability of their boat, and I think what they've done as a team, being able to keep improving, they've really been able to showcase how well that boat of INEOS Britannia could be. The aggressiveness of their design, I've absolutely loved. I think it's been absolutely fantastic.
And one thing doesn't change, despite the racing of these magnificent, I love them, the AC75 falling monohulls, you're still going to have very good sailors, manpower, and Mother Nature to push them along. And they were the big improvers. They were the big improvers.
They certainly were. And in the end, they're taking that big scalp of Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, making it through to the match final has been an incredible effort, and certainly their performance and what they've been able to showcase, very, very different design philosophy, but extremely, extremely well put together.
Well, let's go down to the INEOS base, and we're going to hear from one of your mates you just mentioned. Here's Lee McMillan.
Lee, you've just come ashore. Can you sum up the feeling right now after such a long, hard battle over the last few months?
Yeah, obviously we're, a bit disappointed with, not to get the win. I guess the overwhelming feeling really is just, of how proud we are of what we've achieved. We obviously came here to win, but I think, we went through a lot of hard times to get to this point, and I think the team showed incredible resilience the whole way through this campaign to, to get this far and to push Emirates Team New Zealand as hard as we could. And even through this America Cups final, just great steps forward every time and fighting all the way to the absolute end. So we're very proud of the whole team and everything that we've achieved. Such a tight unit of people that we've got in this organisation, and that we're especially proud of.
Thanks very much, Lee. Well done. Thank you.
So Lee McMillan live on the team base here in Port Vell in Barcelona. Very considered approach to it. There's Sir Ben Ainsley. I think we're going to hear from Ben in just a moment, which will be good.
Ben, obviously you've just come ashore. There must be a real mix of emotions going on. Are you able to sum them up right now?
Oh yeah, of course. We came here, we wanted to win the America's Cup, and we didn't quite get there, so it's a tough day for the team, but at the same time I couldn't be prouder of everyone, how far we've come as an organisation, as a team, through not just through this event, but the last 3 years, and I guess the last 10 years since we put the team together. So that mixed emotions. I'm also got to say hats off to Team New Zealand. I mean, what an incredible achievement to get the three-peat. That takes quite some doing, and they're a class act, so congrats to them.
Have you spoken to Sir Jim Ratcliffe yet? I know you've said you're going to go again for the next America's Cup, but where does he stand? How much backing, if at all, from him?
Yeah, Jim got on the boat. He and INEOS have been incredible backers now for the last 2 campaigns. I know he wants to stay involved with the team. We've got to figure out just what that looks like. As always with the America's Cup, there's a little bit of unknown as to what the next journey looks like in terms of the event and where it is and when it is, and so much to figure out. But for sure, Jim and INEOS are keen to support that, and maybe we've got to find some other backers to come in and help take this team to the next level. Each time we do it, we're getting closer. So next time we've got to go for the big one.
One last question. You've made British sailing fans dream over the last few weeks and months. We've enjoyed all that entertainment. We've seen you on the helm. Next time round, will we enjoy that? Will we enjoy watching you on the helm again, or is it time to stick to the boardroom?
I don't know. You know, in these moments, it's not really about me. It's about the team. What is right for the team, and I'm committed. All I can tell you is I'm committed to taking this team forward on that journey to win the cup, and that's all I know right now. And we'll figure out the rest when the timing's right.
Ben, thanks very much. Thank you.
So Sir Ben Ainslie coy about his future, but it's now time for reflection for the whole of INEOS Britannia. We are live on at the base, should I say, of INEOS Britannia. Defeated 7-2 in the match for the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. So let's get some more reaction with Alex, with Dylan Fletcher.
Dylan, a reaction really to your first ever America's Cup.
Yeah, I mean, amazing to be honest, but not the result that we wanted. Certainly feels like we've come a long way, especially since the prelims, and there's so many doubters. But to be the most successful British campaign for 90 years has been amazing. But next time we'll go one better.
And it is a step at a time with the America's Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly. You know, my learning curve has been incredibly steep this time round. Felt like we ran out of time as all campaigns and didn't manage to quite get on top of the Kiwis. You know, they were very strong at wind. We thought we had to battle them in the pre-starts, but you know, they sailed better all round, and hats off to them.
And just looking around, there are thousands of fans here supporting you. Just a word about them and the support you've had from the team and the fans.
It's been overwhelming, the support we've received down here, far more than I ever expected, and they've just been amazing, you know, through the thick and thin of it, always here, always cheering us on, and it really means a lot. So massive thank you to them, and hope this result means something for them.
So you up for another one?
Of course.
Yes, the obsessive nature of the America's Cup. Once you're around it, it's hard not to stay away from it if you are fully immersed, as we see the New Zealand flag flying high. It wasn't doing that this morning. We were wondering whether we were going to get wind, didn't we, Glenn?
We certainly were, and the conditions actually in the end coming in slightly windier than potentially what the forecast was. So just that 1 or 2 knots, you know, of extra breeze over that 6.5 knots. We're seeing sort of 8.5s, 9s, even up to 10s, and absolutely incredible performance from the AC75, sailing at over 40 knots, 45, 46 knots was some of the top speeds we saw in only around sort of 9 to 10 knots of breeze. So lovely flat water, and Emirates Team New Zealand now towing back in towards the dock. Some of the admin staff there, Di, Andrea, a lot of people behind the scenes from both teams absolutely put a huge amount of effort in, and they'll be welcomed back to the dock very, very shortly.
Yeah, Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei, who are the iwi of Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, which is home base for Emirates Team New Zealand, have been here for a number of weeks. Their beautiful waka, the Kawau, has been leading them out every day, and it has brought more attention to this cup in the last fortnight in many, many ways. And as a New Zealander, I get goosebumps watching this. You know, it's part of what New Zealand is, and I know. Talking to some of the team members, it has been a difference. It has been a huge difference. I read an article somewhere on a sailing website this morning saying the difference with Emirates Team New Zealand, support.
Absolutely incredible, and Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei putting in a big, big effort here. I mean, paddling out, leading the boat out every morning, that's a big job. That's a beautiful waka that they have leading the boat out, and they have been a huge part. I've been very, very fortunate over the years to be part of Emirates Team New Zealand and have all the vessels that I've been involved with blessed by Ngāti Whātua, and it is a massive difference. It is really a fantastic connection, and hopefully they'll get to celebrate and enjoy the cup. coming back to New Zealand as much as I know the rest of New Zealand will.
So they are getting close. You can see in the top left of your screen, Kiwi corner. Yes, specifically just for Kiwis. We saw them all through the broadcast, but those bridges and areas around Port Vell, they have been jam-packed since the start of the match, and it started like a trickle, and then day one of the match, boom, we wonder where everybody came from.
Absolutely fantastic. Nice to see Steph Stubbs in there as well on board. Absolutely huge team effort behind the scenes, a lot of experience and knowledge, a lot of ups and downs over the last 15 or 20 years with Emirates Team New Zealand. So fantastic for everyone involved, particularly over those numerous campaigns that have been in the highs and lows. And just looking at the crowd there, Stephen, in the background.
New Zealand's come to Barcelona.
Crikeys. There's a lot of people there, standing room only.
It has been like that, Glenn. It has been like that with the dockouts every day. If you couldn't get a spot by 11 o'clock, you were 4 deep, because the dockout was normally midday, and people just wanted to be part of it, because where we are looking now to the right hand side, the Takawa would come in. It was berthed on the other side of that bridge. Peter Lester, we haven't forgotten about you, Pete. So it's done. The Cup is won 7-2. How are you feeling?
Well, what a massive effort by Emirates Team New Zealand to come to Europe, and you know, that's the first Kiwi team to have ever won in Europe. I think that's significant. It's not gloss over how hard it is to leave, you know, North America or Bermuda or New Zealand and come to Europe and win it. And look at the crowds down there for their welcome in. That's massive. No, I'm a very proud Kiwi, and what a team. But look, we're actually still around at INEOS, and I've got to salute INEOS. I think they've put together a huge, huge challenge that New Zealand had to step up to defend the America's Cup. But the crowds, that will be my lasting memory, and the impact of, you've talked about it, Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei, their contribution here has been massive.
Pete, just briefly, because we've got some time as we are looking at Emirates Team New Zealand out in the front of the Mall de la Fusta, sort of close to the large Columbus statue. But that race, they got pipped at the start, but just got it done. What did you make of that particular performance?
Oh, complete performance. And look, again, INEOS were actually, in my book, won the start. New Zealand peeled off, and they talked pre-race about how strong the right was, and we saw that. That's where the lead change came. And then on that second windward beat, INEOS got a piece of the right. New Zealand defended really staunchly at that top mark. From then on in, they managed to move away. I think a slightly quicker boat. The old adage, Stephen, the fastest boat will win the America's Cup, and that's what's happened here in Barcelona.
Well, Pete, as always, thanks for your insight on the water over the last, it's 8 weeks. I know it's been a long haul, but I know a lot of people have appreciated you giving your insight about everything on the water. So from us here in the booth, thanks, buddy.
Oh, cheers, mate. I had the best seat in town.
I think you did, Pete. I would have been happy to be sitting there holding your hand, mate, but next time maybe.
Yeah, you can put your jandals on now, Pete. You can get your flip-flops out.
I'm always out here in bare feet, mate, just like the boys on the boat.
Sailors never change. All right, we'll talk soon. And in Glenn's words, we might have a frothy.
Well, off for a debrief when we get in, Peter, Lester, you and I.
So that's just an indication of the amount of support that has literally just flooded in to Barcelona in the last fortnight for Emirates Team New Zealand.
Stefano Morrison, centre of screen there. Not the tallest bloke in the world, but a bit the same as myself, but one of the most expert electrical engineers of all time. Massive experience in the America's Cup. Many, many campaigns. One of the nicest blokes you'd ever meet.
Taste of home. Nothing like it. Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei and the Longhorns sound out across the inner harbour of Port Vale.
This will be a very, very special moment for the whole team at Emirates Team New Zealand, this welcome back. Very, very rare to have this at this level. Welcome home after a victory in battle. Very, very special.
They really do get a double dose of celebration. A welcome that is so deserved from Matu Fatu Orake, the shore crew, and then probably the most important welcome from family.
It certainly is. Families really sacrificing a lot, not seeing their loved ones for quite some time. It's a big effort. With the America's Cup, it does become all-consuming. Certainly nice to come back and share the celebrations with family and friends and supporters.
Performed by Matu Fatu Orake. And you know how much that means. Once again, our onboard technology just takes us a little bit closer. Gee, Glenn, did you think when you were growing up as a young sailor we'd be looking at every angle on a boat flying 40 knots on one foil, and helicopters there getting us so close you would thought you could actually touch the sails itself, the wind side IQ technology, seeing where the wind is. It's come a long, long way.
It certainly has, and the technology will just continue to move on as we go forwards over the next few years. Very exciting to see what it'll look like in 2 or 3 years' time. Or further down the track, you think what's happened in the last 10 years with the America's Cup. What's the next 10 years going to look like, Stephen? Absolutely incredible. Fantastic pictures and audio right across this America's Cup series. Shots on board and sounds that have never really been captured before, so 4K filming some of the shots. Matteo Denora in the background there, team principal, been involved with the team for a long time and instrumental in the survival of Emirates Team New Zealand a decade or so ago, and he'll be welcoming Grant and the team onto the dock, as have Ngāti Whātua. So very, very special moment for the team.
You could tell what it means, couldn't you? A couple of boys putting arms around each other, knowing that, you know, maybe they just want to go home. Mission accomplished. Let's just let's have a quiet one or a loud one or whatever, and let's go home for Christmas.
Definitely, a lot of people will be ready for a lie down after this. A huge effort. It's just a sense of relief, overwhelming sense of relief and satisfaction of just getting the job done and executing the plan that the whole team's been working towards for the last 3 or so years. So really, really fantastic. Interesting that you step off the back of the boat, and that is quite often the last time you ever step on board or off a AC-75. So Nathan Outridge there picking up #1 son.
Jack, and then there's Charlie. Emma's wife smiling. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a very special moment for the Outridge family, as it will be for the whole team. Nathan's mum, Jasmine, and Chuck in the background there. So really special moment there for the Outridges. Nathan, the only Aussie on board the team, and very happy to pass the baton over to him this time round. So very, very pleasing to see that.
He may be lifting his 2 sons right now, but this will be the next thing he lifts. There it is in the Louis Vuitton box, about to be closed up, the America's Cup. This is the 37th edition at 7 p.m. local time on the main stage in the Mall de la Fusta. That will be presented to Emirates Team New Zealand, who created history when they crossed that line. The first team in modern history to win 3 Cup regattas in a row.
If anyone wants a photo with Norm later on, he's one of the most photographed people in Emirates Team New Zealand.
He was the one on the right, yeah.
The one on the right.
Norm
on the right, yeah. And Shirley Robertson, who has escaped the commentary booth, Stephen. She's managed to work her way down to the dock there, and be really nice to hear from her shortly, hopefully, after she's spoken to a few of the team.
Yep. I thought you were doing my job there for a moment. Let's go to Shirley on the dock.
The homecoming, I mean, describe this moment and what it means.
Phenomenal. It's been such an effort by so many people. You can just see it right around me now, everyone embracing. It's 3 years of so much hard work, and yeah, we've done it. We've gone and achieved what we wanted to do, and yeah, just the support's been amazing from everyone. You know, we just got welcomed in by Ngāti Whātua Oreki now, and it's like, you know, they set us off at the start of the week. We went out and did our business, and now that's kind of finishes off. So, yeah, sensational.
You can almost taste the relief here. I mean, how hard has this been? I mean, it's your 3rd Cup.
3rd Cup, 3rd win. It's I wouldn't say relief. It's you know, you're going up against a formidable opponent, and you know, you have to win it. I've never said we're defending it. You have to go win it every time, and we've done that. So to win it 3 times with this group, yeah, it's sensational. It's such an amazing team to be a part of, and yeah, to go out there and execute the races we did is you know, something that takes a huge amount of work, and yeah, we can only be so proud of that.
Ben Ainsley called this team the best America's Cup team ever.
Well, it's, you know, it's a team I'm so proud to be a part of. It's an amazing group that just pushes to be better, to be faster, to race smarter, race harder, and yeah, it's been an unbelievable 10 or so years of my life. So just try and soak in this moment.
Enjoy the moment. It is something else, and massive congratulations. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everyone. Lots of love.
Blair Tuco, I think that's the most we've heard of him from the whole regatta. We've heard bits of him in the trimming position, Glenn, and now the kids get a chance to look at the mighty Taihoro. This is where Daddy sits, and this is what he does. Well, they know what he does, but they probably never get a chance to do this again. And oh, where's he throwing them? Oh, into one of the trimming seats. How about that?
As long as all those buttons are turned off, we'll be in good shape. But Charlie, these kids have a very, very bright future, as all kids do right around the world, as technology moves forward with these types of boats, and they will be the ones that ultimately, down the track, get to race these types of boats in the America's Cup. So in 10 years' time, they will be teenagers, and that is very, very hard to compute right at the moment.
Yeah, well, you got 2 young'uns yourself. You know what it's like, blink and suddenly they're doing things. Let's now go back with Shirley. She's got Peter Burling.
Pete, massive congratulations. It is kicking off here, isn't it, at the team base? Huge celebration.
Yeah, I mean, the end of the America's Cup's always a slightly weird feeling because you're always ready to go for more, but you know, I think it's just slowly sinking in what we've actually managed to achieve, and just an unbelievable feeling, and what an amazing group to be sharing it with.
You're always so cool and composed. You don't give much away, Pete, but right now, describe what it feels like to win your 3rd America's Cup with this incredible team.
To be honest, I think it's still sinking in, and I mean, what a special trip home. Just so many people up here to cheer us on. The amount of people around has been unbelievable. It's really been like a second home up here in Barcelona, and yeah, unbelievable feeling.
Lots of fans back home in New Zealand staying up all night to watch you deliver today. What do you want to say to them?
I think just thanks everyone for the support, everyone back home, around the world, wherever you've cheered us on from. It means a the absolute world to us, and what a special day to be able to get the win on the board and wrap it up in such style was really cool.
I'm sure the celebration's going to go on and on. Nice work, Pete. Well done.
Hey, thank you.
So just over 2 months ago, think about it, just over 2 months ago, 6 nations, New Zealand, Britain, Italy, America, Switzerland and France came together off the shores of Barcelona here to battle it out for the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. Crossing their wake was the next generation of superstars and the world's fastest female foilers. Why don't we just take a moment right now to reflect on some of the high-speed drama that unfolded on the waters of Barcelona. This is Barcelona, right now the centre of the sailing world, home to the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup.
The beauty of sport is that you get judged by one thing and one thing only, and that's results.
I think we're only beginning to see the potential of these machines and these teams.
Orient Express Racing, they win race 1 of the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series.
This race is not over, and Mother Nature will dictate the playbook.
Their record is perfect.
Better pressure this way.
Unbeaten so far. Can anyone take down Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli?
It's the magic of Luna Rossa. I cannot tell you the secret, my friend.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing get the win and go to 2 valuable points.
And happy birthday, Time 16. Here we love it.
INEOS Britannia, they have got the afterburners on this afternoon.
Nice, guys.
For the first time in the regatta, the Italians lose.
We've said all along this is the strongest challenger group we've seen, and I think today we saw that.
And Orient Express Racing will depart Barcelona.
We didn't deliver, so sorry for that, and we'll come back stronger.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing survive and complete the 4. The next generation of sailing superstars are about to take to the water to test their skills.
I believe 110% on the team that I have. Confident they're some of the best in the world. We just have to get the job done.
They're the best young sailors, and the battle right to the very end.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli win the UniCredit Youth America's Cup.
INEOS Britannia, we like to race Arno and Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
And it will be another race win to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Momentum's starting to swing. You can feel it.
And we have a lead change. Can American Magic hold on?
In the words of Jimmy, imagine if they lost it from here.
Something's happened there, big breakage.
You essentially broke the traveller track at the back of the boat. That was it. You know, there was no sort of recovery from there.
The INEOS Britannia are the first team through to the Louis Vuitton Cup final. And as Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, they are off to face INEOS Britannia.
We have full-on engagement between these giants.
Like that.
It's pretty full on when you're doing 47 knots.
Pretty close here.
And you're within about 20 metres of the other yacht.
So well matched, aren't they, in terms of performance? I mean, you could not pick one.
Yeah, let's hit them.
Is today the day the deadlock is broken?
Massive splashdown by the Italian team.
No, we've broken everything.
There are frantic repairs on board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
We're faster.
Luna Rossa pushing, trying to get over the top.
INEOS Britannia rolls the waves of the Mediterranean.
Ain't nothing lucky about that, boys.
With a 7-4 victory, they win the Louis Vuitton Cup and will meet Emirates Team New Zealand.
It is now time to showcase the talent of our best female fast boat sailors from around the world. We have tight racing, quick reaction. It is definitely not for the faint-hearted.
Oh, look out, look out.
Today, when it matters, they have come out firing. Look at the speeds, both teams so well matched.
For the very first time, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli win the Booch Women's America's Cup. Two great sailing nations have locked horns for sailing's ultimate prize. Race 1 of the match. The charge towards history is a go. There is nothing, absolutely nothing in this one.
We really tried to come out with an aggressive mindset this morning, and yeah, that's what we're doing right till the end.
I don't think we've sailed at our highest level, and clearly against the Kiwis it's going to require that to win some races.
It is full on and fast. I'm sure we're going to see some engagement in this pre-start.
All here for the pen. Here we go, boys. Here we go, boys.
INEOS Britannia have brought the fight today.
Back in it. Momentum is with us.
It has been a masterclass from the Kiwis.
Emirates Team New Zealand have moved to match point. The three-peat is complete, and Emirates Team New Zealand win the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup.
Nice.
The 37th edition of the America's Cup has come to an end, and we certainly hope wherever you are around the world and you in those fan zones had a good time. I'm sure if you're an Emirates Team New Zealand supporter standing in Port Vell watching the big green monster come in, you were pretty happy. But also our thoughts go to fans of INEOS Britannia and the valiant challenge they put up in this 37th edition. Hard to believe that almost 8 weeks of racing has come to an end. 3 different regattas and all the J classes and the 12 metres. It's been a big old summer.
It certainly has been. It's been absolutely epic racing here off the coast in Barcelona, and I think we've been very, very lucky to see some brilliant racing. All different types of racing, the AC40s, the youth, the women's America's Cup, and then into the Louis Vuitton match after some great battles in the AC75s. Looking forward to the next few years, but also looking forward to a lie down ourselves in a commentary booth, Stephen.
Well, there were times we did have to lie down because we got called out by the weather here in Barcelona, and we had to do a lot of chatting, but it's certainly been worthwhile, whatever side you're on, because INEOS Britannia made history. Made the match for the first time in 60 years, won 2 races for the first time in 90 years. It has been a regatta full of history. There's the most successful helmsman in America's Cup history right there, but this was race number 9, and well, INEOS Britannia won it, got at the start.
They certainly did, and Emirates Team New Zealand wanting to defend that right-hand side, so starting to windward, tacking away, getting that first cross in and that first shift also important, as Peter Lester mentions, and then being able to pick up the second shift and just going into that top with a slightly handy lead over INEOS Britannia at the top end of the course. But the battle continued on.
Wow, leg 3, or something like 8 tacks up on leg 3, certainly, and the way INEOS Britannia dragged themselves into it was like, oh, hang on a minute, let's just, you know, pump the brakes, as you would say.
They really, really sailed into the back of Emirates Team New Zealand and did a really, really great job to dig their way back in with some great sailing in shifts and puffs. Emirates Team New Zealand were very much having to defend hard, and it was really this moment here where they had to put the boat into a high mode, tacking on that right-hand boundary, slowing the race down, getting INEOS high, and then actually putting the bow down just to gain a narrow lead at the top before they went through that gate.
Champions are defined as how they react to pressure. They were under pressure when it got to 4-2 and they had a bad day on the water. The following day they came out, gunned it, absolutely gunned it, sailed flawless in, and this is the result.
It certainly was, and a fantastic victory there by Emirates Team New Zealand over INEOS Britannia. Hats off to INEOS Britannia, great challenger, but the champagne goes to Emirates Team New Zealand.
So confirmation of the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup match, a 7-2 victory to the defender. I'll repeat it again, for the first time in modern history, a single team has won 3 cup regattas in a row. You know what? Bringing this America's Cup takes a large and dedicated team of professionals working as one to bring you magic on and off the water. For the last 2 months and for some years, there have been volunteers here in Barcelona, right to the top, our magnificent and caring producer, Leon Sefton. These wonderful people have thrown everything at this production to make sure wherever you are watching, you get the full experience of an America's Cup, getting you up close and personal on the boats, allowing sailors to tell you what's going on during a race, to see the emotions of victory or defeat through to our magnificent storytellers, our fearless helicopter crews, chase boat teams, just getting amongst the AC-75s. We just want to say one thing. It's been our privilege to bring you the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. We cannot wait for edition number 38. Emirates Team New Zealand, win again.